certain quests lock out other quests. Like, if you decide to be a communist, you can't do the, for lack of a better term, the hyper-fascist racist path, or the ultra-liberal conquer capitalism path. If you pick the communism path.
Wait, so the paths are based on political ideologies?
So your character has, he's mentally insane, kind of. Depends on your stat placement, because there are stats for schizophrenia, ADHD, your own fight or flight, that kind of stuff.
By the way, didn't we already do the Vergil playthrough already, or am I hallucinating?
You're hallucinating.
Are you just saying that so you get to play Vergil again?
No. I watched the end of the Dante one. I forgot. I gotta go use the bathroom real quick.
Luckily, this should be a short stream, hopefully, because Vergil, like I said, removes all the cutscenes.
I'm gonna start my streaming shit up again, and I'm transitioning to full horror playthroughs, baby.
Yeah,
Get ready for Corpse Party and possibly more Alien Isolation.
Me, Resi, Dead Space, Silent Hill, hopefully Fatal Frame 5, you know, the dog shit one, and hopefully, and then after that, Ninja Gaiden 4 on the 20th. Like, the moment the 20th hits, I am binge streaming every day NG4 till I beat it, even on your days, JP. I don't give a shit.
And I'm going to be streaming the indie horror games.
Hell yeah.
But the good ones, not the mascot horror-y kind of ones. I'm going to hit Lone Survivor. If I can get my hands on it, Off is fairly horror. Lisa is kind of a dark comedy horror thing. Well, specifically Lisa the Painful. Lisa the First, I will not be playing, because I don't think I can play that on
Lisa
stream
the Painful
without it being taken down. Lisa the Painful is amazing. It's one of my favorite games. It's also an amazing RPG if you guys ever want to stream that.
It's also hard as shit.
It is... kind of. It has permadeath. So just don't play bad on the enemies that can permadeath you. Yeah, just... But also, don't feel bad about permadeath, because sometimes it's unavoidable. There is a very specific scene at one point of the game where you walk into a arena and it has a 100% chance to start off with an insta-kill move that will permanently kill one of your party members forever. And it just picks one of the three at random.
Yeah, I know if
honestly, should have packed it project.
The moment I feel like if JP played that, he would lose his mind, because it would be the Femblem problem. Only difference is it's going to be a lot more unpredictable. And everyone knows how much he sucks at classic Femblem. Yeah. Because here's the Lisa the Painful.
Thankfully, it's only for...
It's that... How to describe it? The game is essentially kicking your ass the entire time, and there is, like, no letting up at all. Like, JP, you think classic Femblem's bad? Lisa's worse.
Hey, I'm back.
I know.
You thought FE4 was tough.
Yeah.
Also, me and she might do Doki Doki Literature Club, depending.
I should probably play that.
Any mods?
We're doing the Plus version.
On PlayStation.
I said, are you going to install any mods? That doesn't answer the question.
No, I have it on PlayStation.
What game? DDLC?
Yeah.
I have it on PlayStation.
No.
I literally can't mod it.
I do want to play Corpse
You
Party,
have an Ethernet cable, right?
On I have it on PS5.
Oh, you should
PS5 your entire PS5 just to download Doki Doki Literature Club mods.
That would be a good bit. I jailbroke my PS5 just for Doki Doki mods. That would be a banger video.
Did we play Corpse Party on stream at any point?
Not on mine, but on yours.
I don't. Yeah, I think I remember you making a million different hanging jokes.
Also,
no, that was.
Was literally the thing experience.
Speaking of which, new video on Fatal Frame 5. I put a content warning in the beginning. Why? Because there is a lot of suicide jokes, or not suicide jokes, but more like a lot of references, aka the literal reference to Kill Yourself Mountain. And a lot of ghosts on a noose.
Wait, was I in that with you?
No. Ironically enough, this
Fatal
was the
Frame. I
time.
don't remember us playing Fatal Frame.
This is the time where you were barely in anything because you said you were on break, I think, and then I got to be alone for a bit. Just.
Oh yeah, I was.
Oh, dear God, nothing.
Bro literally pulled a Sayori in the middle of a forest.
Oh
No.
my God, we're probably not gonna hold back though when Doki Doki gets to the frickin' hanging scene.
Yeah, the thing is though, the way it's done with Doki
could
Doki,
just-
though, you know, here's the game. The good ending in Doki Doki is required because it's the only way to beat the game. I don't know if they added new ones in Plus though. That's another topic. They added more stuff.
I know they added side stories and everything, so you can actually see their daily life or whatever outside of the whole horror novel aspect.
I was told that in the base game you get there's a good ending because if you right before Sayori hangs herself, you close the game and then you just hang out with each of the 3 women instead of or each of the 4 women instead of just hanging out with only one at a time. So you can just close the game after each one, and apparently that sets a flag somehow.
There are so many weird flags in that game. I wouldn't doubt that's true.
They literally have .character files, and I don't think they were the first ones to do this because that exists in Baldur's Gate. So, yeah, Baldur's Gate did it
also,
first.
I'm pretty sure.
But still,
you
they
can
have
cheese
their-
Also, I'm pretty sure if you already know the spoiler, you can just straight up delete Monica, and the game will just straight up, like, bug out when Monica shows up on screen. Also, hold on, be right back.
I know the whole thing with the game that's revealed at the end is eventually, because this is like a whole confirmed theory, that someone's always going to become the Monica because it's like somewhat a simulation or whatever. That someone's always going to become the crazy person.
Sounds batshit enough to happen.
Apparently that's like the whole thing that like players piece together because there's a freaking ARG inside of the game's files.
I guess that explains the Just Yuri mod or whatever that was.
And then it like leads to a game that they're somewhat teasing, which they did a bit, even I think it was mostly leading to DDLC Plus, because they talked a bit more about the whole them being in a simulation thing in DDLC Plus. And it's like
simulate inside of another simulation.
So apparently there's a Monica outside of the simulation that's trying to free her friends from the simulation, where they're being constantly tortured by a malevolent NPC, which is the one that like is evil all the time, or something.
And that would imply that you could potentially take up the role of Monica, which means that you are Monica.
Here's the main problem. Here's the main problem. That teaser was made 9 years ago, and we've never gotten updates on it since.
There was updates. They had an update to it in DDLC Plus. It wasn't for another game. It was to tease stuff in DDLC Plus.
Song again. Development hell forever until it releases, and then it's big news.
The Hollow Knight Silk Song of VNs.
I forget this game even has a map.
But yeah, like I said, I want to believe you, but at the same time, the game they announced it so long ago that at this point, it's like never gonna happen.
I'm glad VMs are starting to get like taken more seriously. The fact that we're getting a Danganronpa, like a new Danganronpa scenario, is proof of that.
Somewhat
seriously.
Somewhat. The only reason Danganronpa gets away with it is because Danganronpa has literally its hands in everything: an anime, a novel series, mobile. I'm pretty sure it has a mobile game at some point. And
well, the whole goal of
Danganronpa
was to be a playable VN. Well, it was the second playable VN. The first one was Zero Escape.
No one ever remembers that Danganronpa was a PSP game.
No one remembers that Zero Escape was a DS game.
I mean, that's the only way. That's the only version of it I played.
The DS version of Zero Escape, you poor bastard. The best way to play it these days is the remakes, because they add full voice acting and way better controls.
Be right back.
Oh, and new portraits and stuff.
So, what skill is this?
The 3D models and like CGs are all the same from the DS, but they added portraits, they added voice acting, they added like modern controls to the. At least that's for 999. For the second game, that was pretty much just a 3DS port that was made to work on the PC, but they added voice acting to that one, and they also added again better controls.
Have you guys gotten the YouTube video how to make pickle Pepsi at home for free?
If it's
no,
I had a basic,
I hope I
don't
never
click on
see
it.
that.
No, it's M&J Metal. I saw it like yesterday, and it's like 1 million views on a like few hundred subscriber channel. And then I asked my friends, and everyone else has seen that video. It seems to be on everyone's feed right now.
I have not seen it.
I am scared to watch it, but
If it really is on everyone's feed, then I'd probably ask YouTube to not recommend me stuff from this channel from another video that they posted. Probably.
you would think, but this person's other videos are like 1,000 views to 400 views. This one just ended up doing gangbusters for some reason.
Or maybe just a bunch of people hyped the video because it was a funny shit post to some people. I don't know.
I don't know. All I know is that I saw someone posting of, hey, has anyone seen this video? And then they're in the server, and it's like, hey, yes, we have all seen it. At least not watched it, but have seen it in their feed. So very few guys have seen it.
All right. What was I? Oh.
GP, I also want to say the political stuff is optional. You don't have to do it. I ended up grabbing the communist ideology because it only unlocks after you pick so many dialogue options that are of a very political nature. And I think I made fun of a rich lady too many times, but then the game called me a communist. And you can accept the side quest, but you don't have to do it. I didn't do the communist side quest, but I accepted it. Just like how I got the, what type of cop are you? And I got the sorriest cop because I apologized 4 times in a single dialogue tree. And then I got this, the sorriest cop in Saint Seni. Also, by the way, the game's French. So if you don't want to say French names a lot of the time,
You have no choice.
Yeah.
I was wondering where a bunch of these skills came from. Have you heard of Tyrant Aeshma? Because I sure haven't.
What?
Have you heard of Tyrant Aeshma?
Is Tyrant the subclass thing? Like Tyrant?
Tyrant is the demon race.
Yeah. I haven't heard of... I know what a Tyrant class is. They're some of the best, if I remember correctly. Don't know who that person is.
Yeah, he's a reskin of Asmodeus, and he's white. And he's level 10 with 140
They whitewashed my Asmodeus.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if you fuse Asmodeus with Michael, you probably would get a whitewashed Asmodeus. Level 10, 140 HP, 63 MP, and 16 Ember stat, which, you know, terrible demon. It's got completely neutral affinities, which, honestly, not bad, but the kicker is it's learned skills. He's the only demon in the game to learn the skills Refrigerate, 1 to 8 hits of weak ice damage to multiple foes, Scar Tarantella, which deals heavy gun damage and 70% panic to all foes, and the best part, Ice Pierce, Fire Pierce, Elect Pierce, and Force Pierce. So guess what those do? It doesn't pierce without them.
I was gonna say, isn't an elemental pierce kind of worthless because the only reason you use element is to hit weaknesses?
I mean, maybe, but to be fair, elemental skills have Pleromas and Almighty skills do not. So if you just happen to be... Wait, no, you can't even pass passive skills down. So I guess you would just have to...
That seems kind of useless. I understand physical pierce, because if if you physical pierce, you literally can't do anything else if you scale into only physical. You kind of need it. But magic, unless they're resistant to every single kind of magic and only weak to physical, you could probably still punch them and knock them down and use your extra press turns to dizzy and do all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, swap your magic to a different magic.
Well, the thing is, some people just really like a specific demon, and they don't want them to ever become not relevant.
Yeah, but that's what mutations are for.
For example, if I want Lady Ishtar to have only lightning skills and just hit hard with lightning skills, it just makes it a lot easier because instead of having to mutate...
Yeah, I guess if you do that hyper niche of I want Lady Ishtar to have all of the lightning buffing skills and lightning skills.
Yes.
Might as well put on...
So a lot of people make specific
lightning spears. I guess, yeah, that's how I normally do it, because I always have a magic. I don't do a specific magic type. I do a magic, a support, a physical, and me. Rather than I have a lightning, and then I have a wind. I have a this or a that.
The boss Omoi Kane, if you slide with Walter after right before the split, you know what I'm talking about? Boss Omoi Kane has Diarahan, so you probably want someone who can exploit his weakness to wind. Because he can just use Diarahan whenever.
Yeah. If that's the case, then you know what I would do is make a rando demon to take up the physical slot and still have my magic and my support, and I would just have my one wind person that I'm going to use for this fight, and then maybe a handful of other fights if they're also weak to wind, and then bench them.
There are also enemies that have fake resistances, I guess, and well, I guess I should say fake weaknesses. For example, Kenji takes less damage when you strike him with a weakness than like a regular physical attack, for example.
Yeah, Persona 4 has an issue with that, where it's like, resistant to physical, and then physical is still the best skill in that game. Because you're resistant to physical, but you're doing 800 damage. Yet if you use the magic that they're not resistant to, or they're normal to, you're still only doing 500, even if you are evenly spec'd on both magic and physical. But also, that's Persona, so there's no press turns. It's just...
Yeah, Persona already has weird rules to begin with.
The problem with Persona 4 specifically, for example, spoilers for Persona 4, please deafen or mute deafen or leave the stream if you're still avoiding spoilers for that game for some reason. Every fight past Adachi, all of the bosses have a hidden physical resistance that basically makes it ineffective because there's no fizz boost skill. So you just want like elemental skills or almighty skills to attack people with at the end of the game.
Also, I don't think I've ever referred to the culprit as not the culprit when I'm ever talking about Persona, because I feel the culprit is such a cool title. To be like, yes, it's the boss fight with the culprit is the best thing in Persona 4, hands down.
Well, I guess I could call him the Hunger, but...
Actually, no, that'd be spoilers, because if I say the food type, it'd immediately be like, it's... Yeah. I was gonna call him John, insert vegetable here.
I just love how Adachi's just so slimy. You never suspect him the whole game.
Yeah, I was gonna call him a John Cassius.
What was his whole motivation again?
Gas attendant.
He doesn't like women.
His motivation... Well, it's a little bit oversimplified.
Yeah, I know, it's very oversimplified. He doesn't like
people, period. And he thinks that he thinks that everyone in the world should just become shadows or something like that, and so instead of killing himself to take himself out of the world, he decides to draw everyone into his own problems with him, so he can make a world where hopefully everyone can be happy and ignorant.
Yeah, basically, that's the Yeah, that's the if you want to imply that he knows all about the other world. If you want to imply that he doesn't know and he's just doing it for the lulz, I've always thought of it as that reporter lady turned him down and he pushed her into the TV, and then he's like, "Oh, that's cool. She's dead now. Let me start throwing people into the TV." And then he revels in the fact that he can manipulate people, and then he's just having a fun old time. Yeah,
he's a sociopath.
Yes.
And then Namatame calls the police station, and Adachi's the only one who is there to answer him. And
and then he's like,
"They got sent. They appeared on the Midnight Panel and they disappeared." And Adachi goes, "Oh well, this sounds stupid, but if you really think that that's what the cause is, then you should try saving them yourself."
Yeah, then he just revels in the fact that he manipulated a guy to just kill people at random for him, in the hopes that he was actually saving them, and he's just like, "Oh, that was funny." Point and laugh. And it's like, that's fucked up, Adachi.
So
and then he's like, "Well, you should kill yourself if you don't think it's funny."
So he literally is just a sociopath. Like, there is no motivation. He's just crazy.
Yeah, well, Adachi is a fortuner. We're just gonna ignore me? Alright, never mind then.
I didn't hear what you said.
I did. Even hear you.
Oh, I said he's a fortuner.
Pretty much.
Yes.
He is the most toxic 4chaner to ever exist. Because he actually
Don't say that. Don't.
Well, never mind. It's probably worse people because it's 4chan, of course.
Also, I'm surprised you didn't, like, double burst this room. This room is basically built to just double burst and run through it.
I did. It's just I ran out of double trigger before I can do it. Also, they respawn, so there's literally no point of this room. This room's just made to grind.
Okay. This is the respawn room. Okay, never mind. I was thinking of the other time where you just quickly blast through them and then you run through. I forgot this is your return trip, isn't it?
It's the return trip, yeah, and I need to try to... I don't remember where to go, and it's making me mad. Because my memory for this game is so shot, I don't remember where to go. Because...
Yeah, my memory also immediately stops after you get Quicksilver, and I'm like, there's a later part of this game that I don't know.
Yeah, because here's the thing, is that I remember select spots, but this section here... Because of the fact that my brain auto-focuses when I'm streaming, it's even worse, because that means I'm going to autofocus just going forward only to realize that, oh, wait, I went to the wrong place. I should have went to this area instead. I am a moron. And I got to backtrack all the way, making this longer than it should be.
It's just the game telling you to pay attention more.
No, because here's the thing.
There's no cutscenes in this version of the game. They cut all the cutscenes for Vergil, right? They just don't exist. It's just gameplay. You just know where to go.
Funny.
Do it.
I forgot about that.
No, because here's the thing, is that it's RE level design, but not good RE level design, because of the fact that... How did I say this? The reason I say it's not good RE level design, in my opinion, is because of the fact that if you want to just find everything, not everything's mapped. Not only that, the layouts are so confusingly linear. And ironic. Yeah. The stuff that's linear is confusing, but it's the fact that
Resident Evil excels on the fact that you're in a single area 90% of the game, and you're always going back to the main hall of the police station or the main hall of the mansion. And if you're on one ass end of the map, it takes you like 30 seconds to get to the other ass end of the map if you've unlocked all the shortcut doors. You just go bop, bop, go down the stairs, bop, bop, and I've gone from the plant room all the way up to Yon's room.
The main problem with DMC3s is that there is no shortcuts. You just like, oh, you went the wrong way? Well, time to re-backtrack and just hope you don't get lost again.
Yeah, hope you like backtracking.
Yeah, that's the thing with DMC3's level design. It's kind of why I'm happy DMC5 got rid of the RE level design, kinda. Because 1 did it best because that game was already meant to be a Resi game before it changed. 2 was... It's 2. That one's god-awful. 3
I say round 1 feels like it was.
DMC2 best game. I don't know what you're talking about.
3 happened, and it's like, okay, there's some RE level design in there, but it's very much loosely, but it's not, doesn't have the hallmarks of 1. 4 is just backtracking the video game, because literally half the game you're spending as, not even half, but like 40% of the game you're playing as Dante, going to the other ass end of the map, because they didn't have the time to make Dante sections. And then DMC 5 just straight up, you know what, fuck the RE level design, just make it a linear game. And I think it was for its benefit, because most people don't talk about the level design. Most people talk about the combat and the story, even though the story is barely a thing, and it's only really, you know, talked about in like lore books. You know, you ever read Deadly Fortune 1 and 2, which have never been translated? I hope you did. Do you like it when we explain our lore for characters that imply really heavy character development in other sources? Well, this is the game series for you. It's like if Persona 5's story was told through manga and light novels, and the main game was just the palaces with none of the. No. But it's like if Persona 5 story was told in light novels and manga, and the main story was just the palaces with none of the character development. Like, for example, we never get Ryuji's whole hatred for Kamoshida. We just know he hates him for the sake of hating him. We never get Futaba's backstory. We just know she's traumatized. We just don't know what traumatized her. Like that.
It would be pretty funny. I'd love to see someone just make a mod that guts Persona of all of its cutscenes and dialogue.
I was gonna say that's just play Persona, and then each time a dialogue option hits, you press the options button on your controller, and it turns it to like that 50 times speed, skip through all the dialogue options.
Yeah.
Cutscenes.
No,
that's called SMT3.
Yeah. And
because SMT3 has jack shit for story.
No, SMT.
Yeah, well, I mean, it does have story. It's just, your character doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things more than a tool. You're a tool the entire game, and it's everyone is around you. You are a tool. You literally can't do anything by yourself. You are a hammer, and the world is full of nails. You just need someone to pick you up and start hammering them in.
Literally every NPC that's a human uses you.
Yeah, Jerry, who really used you.
Yeah, if you do end up trying to do your own thing by your own will, you get no one is able to lift you up. You can't lift yourself up to hit the nails. You just get the worst ending.
The regular demon ending.
Yeah, which is a vast land of nothingness, and who cares? This is the shittiest ending in the game, in my opinion.
Ah, yes, true demon.
I mean, objectively, probably, but it would be. I just think, just to piss off Kagutsuchi or whatever, just kind of like force the world into stagnation.
Yeah,
not quite to the level of TDE.
Like.
I mean, I still think pissing the Kagutsuchi off by letting Lucifer hold you as a hammer is still my favorite ending.
Yeah, but yeah, True Demon. I love True Demon because it's like, at the end of the day, Demi-Fiend's getting used no matter what he does. Like, Freedom is just him, kind of just like, Freedom can be him like trying to get his own will, but then after that, it's like, realistically, God still exists, so there's no point in trying to get that free will. It's just gonna happen again. And True Demon is, well, him just like, you know what? If I'm gonna be a hammer, might as well be a hammer to someone that's actually gonna do something. That's sort of the way I view it.
People have the nerve to side with Chiaki in that. And the other guy, that I don't even know who his name is, but he exists, and he kills the best character in the game.
Dude,
not Isamu, the other guy that kills the best
Hijiri, yeah.
Best boy.
Dude, I hate
Hijiri. You think Hijiri? That's crazy.
Here's the thing with Chiaki and Isamu is that
you think Hijiri is
that their characters just suck.
Yeah. I did not hear what?
Their characters are just annoying to me.
I was gonna say, you think Hijiri is the best boy? That's crazy.
Hijiri's the novelist, reporter, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's best boy.
That's crazy, because it is literally revealed to you that he was going to probably kill you in the same way that Isamu killed him.
Here's the thing with Chiaki and Isamu.
When his competitors are Lucifer, Isamu, Chiaki, and that one dude, it's not that hard to have him be best boy, even if he did try to kill me.
Here's the thing.
Ocelot tries to kill you all here, and he's still best boy.
Here's the thing, is that Chiaki and Isamu, I hated their characters, and it's just the main problem with SMT in general, -2, is that SMT has always been a sort of a story about extremes, where it's not just like the good and bad. SMT2 is probably the only one I know that explains the good and bad of both sides. Every other game is just like hyper, just like either you're hyper pro strong prey upon the weak, or you're hyper North Korea. It's never in. There's no in between unless you do neutral.
Yeah, everyone is awful, so I might as well pick the one that's cute. Type beat.
Yeah, that's the main problem with SMT in general, and it's really hard to strike a balance. 4 has the best story, but even that falls to the trap of the extremes.
Well, the thing is, Chaos is a lot more reasonable. Even in spoilers, in the Chaos route, Lucifer even says that, like at the ending, that he even says that some order needs to be maintained, so otherwise humans will just infinitely kill each other.
Yeah, that's why neutral is usually the best option, or if it's SMT and only immediate gain, the teacher route, where you side with your teacher, and she just says, this is kind of a shitty idea to have done this in the first place. So what if we just hit reset and have another, 10, 20 years of fun times just chilling before it happens again?
I can do it again.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, SMT's always had a problem of being extreme for both of its endings, because that's sort of the whole thing, where it's like, and I don't like the way they do it. Like I said, I feel like 2's the best one that did this, because it showed the good and bad of both sides, whereas modern SMT is just like, become God, make everyone your slave, or destroy the throne and leave everyone defended for themselves, or become God and hopefully you don't go crazy. Then SMT4 Apocalypse happens, which is arguably has the happiest SMT endings, which ironically enough everyone hated, because SMT always had melancholic endings. The fact that we had an SMT game where the main characters in the world had a good ending is honestly kind of blasphemy.
I think it's just that it felt like it invalidated the choices that 4 kind of had you make, is the issue.
Yeah, that's the
made it feel like nothing mattered.
Pretty much. Not only that, they pussied out with the death of the main character, or the love interest, or the childhood friend, and they pussied out with that one.
Or did they? Depends on your ending.
They did. You can't deny it. They did. They pussied out. Because they did. They did pussy out. And they just, and they kind of just ignore it. Because it's like, oh, this is the happiest SMT ending we ever got. Time to literally just state nothing mattered because we saved everyone. Y'all happy? And the reason for that is because I think they were changing directors mid-development. And what ended up happening is that the new director was like, this is too depressing. Time to make this completely unrecognizable for an SMT game. And that's coming from someone that likes Apocalypse.
I should probably play a Persona game, or an SMT game that isn't 1, 3, and 5.
Play 2 or 4. It's fun time.
Yeah.
Play 4 and then play my mod.
True. I mean, I was probably going to play the mod anyways, just because I'm a masochist, so I'll probably beat the game once on normal, and I'll go straight into the mod.
Don't be surprised, though, if you go from, Belial and Lucifuge, and then you get to Lucifer, you're like, what the hell?
What if I played the mod as my first time through the game? What if my first time were with the mod?
I mean, that sounds like a good idea to me.
I mean, there was some game I did that where I threw it on the Cyberpunk. I was playing Cyberpunk 2077, and my first time through the game, I threw it on the one-hit death difficulty. And I'm like, it seems I'm going a stealth build now. It isn't obviously one-hit death, but I didn't pick any body skills, which means you get, like, no HP the entire game. So I'm rocking, like, minimum health. Because I went straight into hacking, reflex, and cool. No. Yes, cool. I didn't touch body, I didn't touch tech skills. So no heavy weapons, no health, and no grenades. And no crafting better equipment either, which also sucked. Because without tech, you can't craft anything worthwhile. So it's entirely based on RNG drops and designated legendary areas to go to.
I remember someone beat that game with only the pistol.
Which game is this?
Cyberpunk.
Oh, pistol builds are busted, at least in the before the patches. Literally, I had a pistol, a revolver that just one-shot everything.
Yeah, even me playing on the hardest difficulty my first time through, I also want a pistol build. Also, when you pick reflex, you get access to, I think it's pistols, assault rifles, and bladed weapons, like katanas. So I picked up Johnny Silverhand's pistol, which is actually a pocket rocket launcher.
Only to realize that Johnny may have been full of it because Johnny was an unreliable narrator.
Yeah, do you want me to tell you the whole thing about that Dan Arasaka Tower? I can lore dump for you guys right now if you want.
I know, like, the premise. Like, essentially, Johnny... That wasn't actually Johnny. That was... Because here's the thing. There was, like, a bunch of hints at it because how did he survive getting killed by Smasher 3 fucking times? And then he died in the last one. It's like, that doesn't make sense. Only to realize that, that wasn't Johnny. That was Morgan Blackhand. And...
So you want to know what happens in the tabletop adventure? The instant... Because Johnny is at Arasaka Tower, that is for sure. Do you want to know what happens with him within the first, 5 seconds? He gets bisected in half horizontally. Second one upon him meeting Adam Smasher.
Yeah, it was essentially
like the... is tossed off the room and his legs are kicked in the corner.
Essentially the first section, it's like the medieval intro where... Sir Daniel gets shot in the face with an arrow, frame 1. Like the moment he landed,
also, I should have mentioned
got killed, frame 1. Oh, sorry.
Anyways, as you may have not guessed, spoilers. Sorry if we spoiled anything. We're going to continue to talk about spoilers for Cyberpunk, despite the fact that these spoilers aren't even in the game. They are in... material outside of the game, and tabletop adventure, novels, that kind of stuff. Yeah, Johnny Silverhand bisected. Second one, your player character is like, oh god, Spider Murphy is like, I gotta get on this hack. Player characters and Rogue just run interference until I'm done with this hack, and you just run interference. And then Morgan Blackhand shows up, and then they 1v1, and neither of them die. Although Morgan Blackhand, vanishes off the face of the earth after this point. Because if you didn't know, he's actually a rat.
Didn't he? I remember you could find his corpse
Morgan
somewhere.
Blackhand is a rat. You cannot. You might be talking of, or thinking of,
not Dex. I know it's not Dex. Like, you go to a fridge, and then you find...
Yeah, no, that's Brosh. That's another guy. That's the guy who put malware so devious on the internet, they had to basically separate it from the rest of the internet. That's why there's the old internet and the new internet, is because Brosh, or Braun? I forget his name, but he is a hacker so devious that he basically infected the entire internet with, you're going to die now if you plug into the internet virus.
Speaking of virus...
And then he hides. He ran so hot from the virus that he put himself in like a tub of ice. But then his tub of ice to keep himself from overheating, got dumped in the junkyard. So his refrigerator of ice, without power, malfunctions. He gets sealed inside a tube of ice, and eventually the ice melts. He overheats. He burns himself to death, and he's just left to rot in a refrigerator. And you can open it up, and he has some of the best net hack gear in the game you can steal off of him, which was perfect for my build.
Which, speaking of which,
because I like net hack.
Did you the fact that in the new update, I think it's a new update in the and it's a, I forgot if it's the DLC only, but apparently, you can get a gun called Erebus that basically is just like not even shooting regular bullets. You're shooting literal viruses or literal rogue AIs into a person, and then it just fries their brains so hard it kills them and sends them to basically cyber hell.
Yeah, that's possibly where
that's
is.
metal. Literally.
Alt might also be.
Oh my god.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
But it's so metal and fucked up because it screams cyberpunk. Like, you have a gun that shoots rogue AI into a person's skull and causes them brains to get scattered in the
Wait,
dark
what game are you talking about?
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
That makes so much sense.
One of the DLC weapons that they added is literal super cancer that you shoot into someone that sends them to cyber hell.
And you just have it. And I'm pretty sure the rogue AI inside it is basically just using you for its own needs.
Speaking of Cyberpunk Anime Season 2 coming soon. And by soon, I mean God knows when. But it's close to being done.
But yeah, like, the dark net in Cyberpunk is so interesting. Like, we don't know much about it. We just know it's full of rogue AIs that can and will keep you immortal and make you suffer for eternity, for as long as the dark net exists.
Yeah, and you can thank all of that to the guy that you find in the junkyard in that freezer, full of ice.
Why? And he did it because why? He was just evil as fuck?
He wanted to. I think he was a I'm going to come to the world type character. And he was super smart, so it's like, I'm just gonna do this.
I think the only way to even get rid of the darknet is by getting rid of technology altogether. That's the only way, in my opinion.
I think that was the plan. Because he saw Night City, and he's like, this is a den of villainy and evil. If I just get rid of the internet, 90% of the crime will go down in Night City. It's for the greater good, so let me infect a hypervirus that will send us all back to the Stone Age.
Which, I'm pretty sure the only way to destroy the darknet is, like you said, killing the internet entirely. That's the only way to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And even if you did get rid of it, the only way to make sure it doesn't come back is to just not make the virus again. The thing is, though, for all we know, there's another rogue AIs invented backups, for all we know. And some random corpse with a chip in them.
Well, I was going to say, that's kind of the whole plot of Cyberpunk 2077, because, you know, Alt is potentially one of those rogue AIs, maybe. Johnny Silverhand is one of those rogue AIs. He was put in a shard and then put into a corpse. And Johnny reanimated that corpse, that being your main character. Because there's a reason why you're on a time limit is you should be dead. But Johnny was like, I'm just going to fill in the parts of your brain that are leaking out the back of your head.
Yeah, and Johnny's just trying to take control that if he wanted, he could speed it up if he wanted to. Unfortunately, he likes V too much, so he's not going to get rid of him immediately.
You guys have all beaten Cyberpunk, right? I assume.
I got the true ending, which...
Since we're talking about...
I got the true ending, which is a bitch and a half.
Yeah, so I almost got the true ending. I got all the requirements for the true, or I guess, what are you calling the true ending? Are you saying Don't Fear the Reaper?
Yeah, Don't Fear the Reaper.
Hit song by Okay. Yeah, I have that one. I just didn't want to wait the 5 minutes it takes for Johnny Silverhand to ask you if you want to do the true ending.
Dude, it was
Also, because
so
I want to hang out with
annoying.
Rogue one last time, and you don't. Yeah. So I almost got Don't Fear the Reaper, but also I know even if I got Don't Fear the Reaper, the ending that I want is the one where Johnny takes over anyway. So Don't Fear the Reaper doesn't matter. It's just that that one guy who is the son of one of the people from the tabletop game and Rogue survive. But
Yeah, here's the thing with Cyberpunk in general is that it's
John Candy.
Like,
I like that one the most.
I just love the world. Like, it's so delightfully fucked
Yeah.
up that you can't help but enjoy it. Because it's like, there's so much world building thanks to it being a tabletop. And like Warhammer, got a shit ton of media related to it that helped promote the world and show off what's happening.
Yeah. I wonder if we're ever going to get Cyberpunk-based game based on the world that is a side offshoot. Because I'm not sure if you know, but there's 2 nukes at Arasaka Tower, and they split the timeline into regular Cyberpunk and then Cyberpunk, but what if cyber vampires? And it's Mad Max, actually.
But what if cyber vampires? That's sick.
Yeah, so in the Cyberpunk universe, you know, there's 2 nukes at Arasaka Tower. Only one of them goes off, and it's the one that destroys the tower. There's a universe where both of them go off. One destroys the tower, and then the other one destroys the world. And then it gets turned into Mad Max. And then vampires exist for some reason now, and it's not good, from what I hear. But it got retconned back in Red to be the main world of only one nuke went off. But you hit a line of cyber vampires in Mad Max, and that shit's Red. Even if the plot doesn't make sense anymore, because
Yeah.
there's
It's
no
like 1:10
corporation.
a.m., so I'm actually gonna head off.
Yeah.
Night, guys.
Here's the
Okay,
thing
well,
with Cyberpunk in general. It's just that I don't know why, but I find Cyberpunk dystopias are far more interesting compared to fantasy ones. Because fantasy ones, the stories, it's almost all the time the same. Just, oh, evil, dark organization uses the dark powers to destroy the world. Whereas Cyberpunk is like a lot more elaborate. It's probably why I like SMT so much, because it's just cyber Mad Max essentially with demons.
Yeah, I like Diesel Punk the most. So like your 1900 world-ending plagues that you might see in Vampire or Dishonored. Because it's very grimy, very metal, but still modern enough, but also not too modern. I think it's a good middle ground. And then you can also do technological advances, or you could do magic.
I think my favorite in-between for fantasy and cyberpunk is the idea of magitech, which is a shame it's not nearly as popular. Because nowadays we usually either get hard fantasy or hard sci-fi, and there's no in-between. And it makes me upset, because I feel like there is a audience for magitech. Like Final Fantasy does it all the time, and people love like FF7, 8, 9, 10, and arguably 12, 13, and 14 and 15. Like at this point, like it's what got me into magitech in the first place. Like modern FF got me into magitech because it's such a unique idea, and it's a shame no one copies it. Like, it's so cool as a concept. Because I remember there was a game called Too Human that came out, which apparently combined the two only to be dog shit. Because that game apparently sucked a lot.
Yeah, Too Human is a weird one in the fact that it was stuck in development hell, and it was, for a brief time, peak. and then immediately they're like, "But what if we scrap it and do something else?" And then it just got like awful, worse and worse.
We lost we also lost devs as well. Like the development team was getting shorter and changing, or smaller.
And then you finish the game off, and it's a game where there's a point in the game where you have a 50-50 chance of falling through elevators and insta-dying, and now redo that combat section again because you fell through the elevator floor when it went up.
Also, did we forget to mention the combat's done by the right stick? Yeah, that's also another thing.
Is it?
Apparently, that's what I've heard. That Two Humans gameplay is done with the right stick.
I never played it myself. I've just seen video essays because I must always be obtaining new knowledge. Let me throw on the downfall of Two Human. But I've seen like a list of the bugs, and some of them are like fall through the elevator when you're going up, checkpoints being at awful times, it being unfun to play, a story that doesn't make sense.
And most of the budget was spent on voice actors like Crispin Freeman, for example. You know, fucking Alucard.
Alucard.
Like, I don't know. I just don't like that game was so overhyped, and it's probably the worst example of Magitech that I've seen. And I think it's probably what killed a lot of the interest as well, because Two Human was, as you said, development hell and hyped up for so long.
Because it was like a decade, right? It came out in like 2010, 2012.
I think
it was like early, like
no, I think it came out in 08,
2004
right?
when it started.
I think it came out in 08, right?
I guess it can't be. I thought it was 2010, but I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. But it started development in like 2002, I think. Well, I'm gonna look it up real quick. I could just be spreading misinformation on the internet again.
We've all been there, don't worry.
Oh. Okay, Two Human came out in 2008. You are right. Oh, it started in the 90s in development.
Yeah.
Okay, so it started on the Sega Saturn.
Then GameCube.
And eventually transitioned to the 360s.
And then N64.
Yeah, Sega Saturn, PlayStation, and GameCube before... I thought it was 2002, like the same year as the later Deus Ex games, like Invisible War.
Didn't Invisible War kind of suck? Because...
Yeah, because it's a first-person shooter. Because you go from Deus Ex, the first one, which they did put it on consoles, and it doesn't run too well on consoles. But it's, like, not the worst way to play it, I guess. But imagine you were playing Dishonored, and Dishonored goes from, like, a stealth, immersive sim, and then you play Dishonored 2, and it's Gears of War.
Yep. Which, I don't get the
Invisible War goes from an immersive sim to, like, just a standard first-person shooter.
Yeah, which, speaking of which, I don't see the hate of Dishonored 2. Like, I didn't like Dishonored 1 because of the whole fact it does an immersive sin that I hate. And it's the whole... Oh, and it's the thing I hate that Arcane Lion did, and they still do. Except with, like, except with their new game, which was... Well, the new game is not Blade. No, that one looks cool. I mean, like, hold on. Let me turn on my light real quick. Hold on.
What's it, Deathloop that you're talking about?
Deathloop. And I hate it when they tie skills to, like, true ending stuff. Because it's like, oh, you want the good ending? Well, goodbye to using the most fun skills in the game.
I was gonna say, I love Dishonored. It's one of my favorite games. There's only one issue I have with it, and Deus Ex does it well, and Dishonored does it really bad. You can't use like any of your skills if you want to go non-lethal low chaos.
Exactly, that's my main problem with it. Is that if you want the good ending, you cannot literally use any of your skills. You can only really use the teleport. And the main problem is the fact you barely get any non-lethal moves. You don't, and in Dishonored 2, because of that, you got a character that's literally almost pure non-lethal. But in exchange, there is no lethal stuff.
Yeah. Also, they changed the stealth abilities to you being able to just punch people with the R2 button. You can kick out people's legs and do like R2 finishers, and you can actually do combos by hitting any form of attack that would stagger, followed by a right hook, or a grab them and then pull them away next grab and stuff. Or hit them with the Wind Blast, and if they don't die, which is kind of hard because the Wind Blast is a lethal move, you then just kick them in the face when they're down. But the first Dishonored, unless you know very hyper-specifically what counts as lethal, chaos, and non-lethal, it's really hard to use your lethal skills. Because, by the way, you can use your lethal skills pretty frequently in low chaos. You just have to not have killed half of the game's people.
Yeah, the problem is that most people are going to kill half the game's people.
Yeah, civilians and final bosses also have a multiplier on top of it. So you can kill, like, 70% of a area's enemies and still be okay, as long as you don't touch any of the civilians and you get the non-lethal version of all of the boss kills.
Yeah, the problem is people are just weird.
Anyway.
Because there are people that view Dishonored as sort of like this chaos game where it's like you can do whatever you want, and that's one of the main problems that I have with the people like that is that they want to play. Is that some people like that want to play the game their way because it's like, oh, it's an immersive sim, which means I can do what I want, include killing people. Here's the problem: because it's an immersive sim, it's real. It has some realism to it, which means you gotta deal with the consequences.
Yeah, the easiest way to, I think, in my opinion, to make Dishonored so much better is tweak some of the weapons and you have the game be perfect. You can still keep all the skills be lethal. Make the wind one non-lethal though, so you still have Corvo with a non-lethal ability.
Yeah.
But like Possession isn't inherently lethal. Time Stop isn't lethal. The only lethal skills are Shadow Kill and Rat Swarm. But you need to make some of the abilities that Corvo can use besides choking people and sleep darts. Which sleep darts you can't increase the capacity on, so you only have 5 the entire game unless you find or buy more.
Yeah, that's my main problem with Dishonored.
You can only hold 5 at a time.
And
but if you change like the shock grenade to, instead of incinerating people, have it be a taser. Give them like smoke bombs. Give a long range like sleep thing. Just add more stuff. Deus Ex, Human Revolution, and Mankind Divided do it perfectly. That game's an immersive sim. There's like 8 ways to knock people unconscious in that game.
Yeah.
And it makes doing like hyper like there's an area in Human Revolution where you have to fight off like 30 people in a time limit or a character is going to die and that's going to change your ending. Guess what? That would suck in Dishonored. It's really fun in Deus Ex because you have stun grenades, gas grenades, EMP, a tranquilizer sniper rifle, a taser gun. You can dual take down stun people. You have your Icarus landing, which will send out a shockwave pulse if you land from high up above enough.
Yeah, that's what I like about modern immersive.
AoEs.
That's what I like about those types of immersive sims is that because they're immersive, not only do they give you a lot of options in the environment, but also in abilities as well. Because one of the main benefits of immersive sims is the fact that you can basically make a build to whatever you want to do. The problem is Dishonored only gives you limited options. That's the main problem.
Dishonored 2 fixes all the issues, but I think the reason people don't like Dishonored 2 is the world is worse. Because Dishonored 1 is very unique, it's dark, it's gritty, it's depressing, and then Dishonored 2 hits and it has the Bioshock Infinite problem. Thankfully JP left so he can't hear me shit talk Bioshock Infinite again.
Why did he get mad at you for
But
it?
Bioshock Infinite, no. But every single time I've talked to, I've been dropping a bunch of Bioshock Infinite stuff in the chat, and I have heard many a times that he likes that game, and I can't stand it. It's way too heavy-handed with its racism allegory
and everything else, like the combat.
Everything.
Combat is has never been Bioshock's forte. It's all about like. Here's the thing: Bioshock is what I like to call baby's first immersive sim, because it's simple. You got all your stuff on the single hand.
Right.
Oh, continue. Sorry.
But there's complexities to it that you can figure out if you experiment. Like, did you know the ones that they do tell you about shock the water, and you can stun the enemies and they insta-die. Or if you hit someone with your electric plasmid, your melee damage can almost one-shot them. You can electrify traps on the ground that you placed and change their element type. Bioshock is simple, but it has some complexities to it. Infinite just isn't, because you have bird stun, you have a grenade, you have possession, and then you have 4 other skills where their entire thing is to stop enemies in their place so you can mag dump on them. And since you can only hold 2 weapons, it's very bland.
Not only that, like, I keep mentioning this, but Bioshock Infinite is hard carried by Elizabeth. It is hard carried. Because if it wasn't for Elizabeth, the story would be so confusing, elaborate for no reason, and would not even make sense. Because it's like, why would you go visit... What was her name again? Revolutionary chick?
God, I don't fucking know. I don't give a shit about her.
Where it's like, oh, we need to go do this job for her. You do the job, and then you go to the alternate dimension, and then it's like, oh, we still got to see her. But why? It's not the same person you met. Why do you need to go see her?
Yeah, you do that 4 times throughout the game, by the way, because I think you kill Comms. Spoilers for Bioshock, but I'm pretty sure Comstock dies in like the first 20 minutes, not 20 minutes, 20% of the game, and then you fight him again from another alternate dimension, and it's like, dude, this Elizabeth isn't your daughter anymore. This is a different Elizabeth. You don't know who I am. We've never met before. You have no stakes in this. We're just passing by. Why do you want us dead? And it's overly complicated with no through line, and it's just...
Yeah, it's overly complicated for the sake of being complicated. And what doesn't help is that the game was in development hell for so long. And Ken Levine clearly just didn't know what he was doing anymore. Because Ken Levine, he's a weird game dev. He means well, but he's way too ambitious for his own good. That's my problem with him. He's way too ambitious for his own good sometimes. Because he wants to specifically do weird shit that just wouldn't fly because it's just too complicated. Like because he has so many ideas running through his head that he wants to do them all. The problem is they would take forever to implement, and by the time he's done with partway through the game, he then backtracks and was like, never mind, I don't want this in my game no more. I want this in... It's weird. Like, Ken Levine's a weird guy. He's a good game dev, but someone needs to rein him in. He's like Garth Ennis. Good writer when he's reined in, but let loose, he's gonna make the most obtuse, crack-headed conspiracy theory disguised as a story ever made.
Yeah, it's...
which is why I'm hoping BioShock 4, which is in development but has been in development hell because of reasons, obviously. We'll probably try to keep the elements of BioShock 1 and 2 because BioShock 1's story is amazing, but 2's gameplay is way better. In my opinion. I just prefer 2's combat so much more. Compared to whatever the hell Infinite is, because Infinite just feels like Borderlands. I'm pretty sure they even use the same animations. It's just Borderlands without the multiple guns. And the story that takes itself way too seriously and is way too complicated for the sake of being complicated. Like, I only play Infinite if I want to do something mindless. That's all I play Infinite for. Other than that, Infinite is iffy for all the wrong reasons.
Well, even then, if I play it mindlessly, I still get bored after like an hour and a half. I'd rather play BioShock.
Well, yeah, I'd rather... Well, yeah.
Also, the fact that... And if I bought them in a collection, I have BioShock 1, 2, and Infinite. I would rather pop in BioShock 1 disc and play it over. So I even think it's good for mindless, because I would mindlessly still get bored when I could instead play something that, although I could mindlessly play it, I would still have a fun time doing it, so...
Yeah. Yeah, like, I only play Infinite when I'm bored. Like, I would go to the arena mode and then just fuck around. But after that, I just... I get bored. I just don't care about Infinite. Like, Infinite just was so weird. It didn't need to be made the way it was. Because, like I said, people suck off Infinite because of, like, Elise specifically. The thing is, though, like I said, Elise is just not an interesting character, like, at all. Like, she just sucks. Like, her whole thing is literally just, oh, I discovered the outside world and my father's a bastard. And I need to, and I don't know if the guy I'm working with is also a bastard. And then the DLC makes her battle hardened, only for her character to immediately get killed immediately because rightfully so, Elizabeth sucks. And like I said, Infinite is it came out in that era of gaming that I despise to this day. And it's the story heavy game where they just put gameplay on the backseat and focus purely on story. Because apparently spending $60 on a 7-hour cutscene movie story game was considered peak gaming, even though MGS4 is similar and has way better gameplay than just every other game around the time. Like, for example, I love Uncharted, but it is hard carried by its characters. The gameplay for Uncharted is basically just one big old Michael Bay movie with just good characters. Because Amy Hennig is a really good writer, but honestly, like, her shit peaked, in my opinion, with Soul Reaver. After that, I just, Uncharted is weird. Like, I don't know how. Then Last of Us happened.
I like Uncharted.
Like, I like Uncharted as well. It's just that, it's just, how to describe this? It's like, it's campy, very much. It's very much just one big old Indiana Jones film up to 11, which is that's the point. The thing is, though, is that because it's such a story-heavy series, you kind of just gotta work with what you got. Like, it's still a cover shooter at the end of the day, and those set pieces get boring after a couple playthroughs. Because that's the thing people forget. The set pieces are familiar, but another problem like a lot of these games at the time had is the fact that none of them were exactly replayable. And as you know, people remember their first playthrough the most. And people tend to forget that on replay playthroughs, these games don't really have much to offer. It's why I say Last of Us is overrated as fuck, because First playthrough, amazing. Second playthrough, okay, understandable. Third playthrough, there's nothing left for you to find. And then that's it. And then there's the multiplayer.
Fortunately for you, I can't agree on this one, mostly because I speedran that game for like 2 years.
Well, yeah, that's a different story.
So I got a ton of enjoyment.
Yeah, but that's you.
Story-wise, I still every now and then I'll still watch some of my favorite cutscenes. Like that intro cutscene, amazing. There's still some later, like the in-between chapter ones are peak. I love the cutscenes, the characters, the small little development, like a detail you might miss, but Ellie starts putting on a fake southern accent the more the games go. It's adorable.
I don't know. Like after a while, like here's the thing, because it was back when I was a kid, and back then how do I describe this? I would essentially just grind on games a lot of the time, where I would beat them in a day, which here's for some weird reason that was sort of my little pride and joy. Like I would beat games in a day, and what ends up happening is that because I beat them so fast, I just kept replaying them over and over and over again, and I got to see a bunch of the stuff I didn't know you can do. Like Metal Gear Rising, I played over and over again because I love Metal Gear Rising, and it was so fun learning everything about the quirks. And that's where my whole love for a gaming dev came from. The problem is that games like Uncharted, Gears of War, like mechanical depth, they don't offer much. Like, and unless you want to learn the depth, you only really get that from the multiplayer, which is pure gameplay. So that means you actually get an environment to test out the character or like the movement. But if we're talking main story, you don't need to learn all that stuff because the devs never intended for you to use that. And you doing that in the main game is not going to basically help you at all.
I think that might be the main reason why they have like 6 difficulty options. And I think if you do want to replay it, the best way to do it is start fresh on a new game, each difficulty up. Except maybe the highest one, Grounded. I've beaten that like twice. I would suggest nobody plays Grounded. It's the same issue where I've beaten Nightmare and will probably beat Akumu in Evil Within. I don't think anyone should do it, but it's there for if you're a psycho.
Yeah. The main problem is the fact that, like I said, I just hate it when games do that because it's like, because essentially it's like, it just shows that they have no interest in just making a solid gameplay experience. And don't get me wrong, I love my games with good stories. I do love them. It's just I wish we lived in a world where they cared about both. Because so many games from that era just cared about the story and like the set pieces, and that was it. There was nothing else to offer. Like they didn't want to offer anything else. Whereas PS2 was like old gameplay only most of the time. Barely, unless you're playing an RPG, you wouldn't get in-depth stories. Unless you're playing like Jak and Daxter, for example. Like, whereas PS2 was gameplay only, PS3, Xbox 360 was story only. And it wasn't until we got to like the PS4, PS5 where we started getting a proper mix. Because, as you know, in Last of Us 2, people hated that game's story. And people mostly shot on it, rightfully so, because the gameplay was so dated and old and just wasn't good no more. Because it's this weird obsession with groundedness with Naughty Dog that I noticed. Which, sorry if I'm changing the Naughty Dog and I bitched about it a lot. They have a weird obsession with being grounded and attention to detail to the point where they put off everything else. Because I remember when they were promoting, I forgot which game it was. They were promoting some game and it's like, oh, watch this character realistically put on a jacket. And I'm like, I don't give a shit about jacket physics. I want to see the gameplay.
Tell ya, jacket physics.
Because I think they were stuck in that era of graphical, what's the word? Graphical fidelity that they forget, oh shit, we need to make a game out of this. And then they just decide to put the most common thing. Because here's the thing with Naughty Dog. They're good at copying other people's homework and then making it their own. Like, post Jack 1, they've just been copying people's homework. They've been copying GTA, Gears of War, Walking Dead. What else? They're currently copying, I'm pretty sure they're copying Cowboy Bebop, but in the worst way possible. And I'm pretty sure their new game's going to copy Elden Ring. And I know it's going to suck because I'm pretty sure the script was leaked. And it just does not sound good at all. And the reason I have no confidence in it either is because of the fact that, well, Naughty Dog hasn't made a mechanically intense game literally since the PS2. After that, it's just copying other people. That's simple. Sorry if I went on a little tangent there. It's just, ugh. I just hate current Naughty Dog in general.
Okay. Yeah, my favorite Naughty Dog game, despite me having speedrun Last of Us, God knows how many times, and just thoroughly enjoying it, I still like Jak and Daxter 1 the best.
Well, I mean, it's Jak 1. It's pure gameplay most of the time. It's a platformer, so that's expected.
Yeah. Crash is also okay, I guess, but I was never a huge Crash person. I was always a huge Spyro. Big Spyro fan, so I was always for Insomniac over Naughty Dog.
Yeah, same here. I grew up with Ratchet, specifically the Future games, like Future Crack in Time and Future Nexus, Into the Nexus, which
I have not played any of them except for 1 and 2. Like,
I love those games to death, mainly because I spent a lot of my time playing them. Like, I went out of my way to get the Rhino for that game, Into the Nexus, and the remake from 2016. Which, oh shit, his internet cut out. Oh shit. No. Where was I?
hello, I am back. I don't remember what I was saying. You said something about the Ratchet and Clank Future.
Yeah, like
things, and
I 100%ed Into the Nexus, 100%ed Crack in Time, 100%ed the reboot. And I didn't 100% Rift Apart, mainly because Rift Apart is weird. Like
I believe it.
Like, Rift Apart is weird. Like, I like it. It's not bad. Like, far from it. But there's something missing. And I don't know what don't know what it is.
The Arena Battler.
No, they still have the arena.
I played Ratchet and Clank. Oh, okay, because I've only played Ratchet and Clank 1 and 2. 1, I think, Up Your Arsenal is second. But I played both of those, and they were fun. I really enjoyed them. But I played mostly 2's Battle Arena with my brothers most of the time, specifically using the Sheep Ray and playing in the sewer map.
I feel like a Ratchet and Clank multiplayer would actually pop off, because Ratchet's such a weird series that I'm surprised they didn't try to make a multiplayer spin-off about it.
They did. It's all for one.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean like on a versus game, like a proper shooter, run and gun type game. Because I feel like that would work.
Maybe. It depends. If they go the horror, or the hero shooter route, I will horde shooter. I can see hero shooter where everyone is unique. I will throw up in my mouth.
Ironically enough, I feel like that could kind of work for a hero shooter type game.
I can't stand hero shooters so much. They're my least favorite types of games to play.
Yeah, they're mine neither, but I know some games would work with it. Like, there are some that are genuinely fun, but most of them are just dog shit.
Yeah, a horde shooter, though, I can get behind a horde shooter. You can still have your hero abilities, but don't do a 5v5. I don't want to be fighting someone who's a Quark tank main, and then I'll have everyone be boiled down to their 2 good moves, run around and shoot, while I see Clank doing jet maneuvers, and his ultimate is he turns into the mecha that he turns into sometimes. No, give me Deep Rock Galactic, but what if... Or Payday 2, even. Payday 2, but it's Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. Would you hate me if I said my first Ratchet and Clank was Size Matters? Because that was my first and favorite, still to this day.
I don't really care. You're young. You have started a generation past me, so I can't really gauge or say what is peak and what isn't peak, because we had 2 separate forms of peak. Because I would say Ratchet and Clank 1 is the peak of Ratchet and Clank, but you being a Xbox 360 PS3 kid, it's kind of hard to.
Ironically enough, most of my time was spent on PS2.
Usually.
So my PS2 games were Sonic Heroes, Ratchet Size Matters, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and I think FF12, but that was my cousin's copy that I may or may not have stole from. And and yeah, that was my experience on PS2. Then I got a PS3 with a remaster of God of War 1 and 2. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, I also would technically be considered a PS2 kid, but I spent most of my time on PS1. So that's why I have a love for PS1 games. I would be prime time for PS2. Born a little bit before the PS2 came out, and I spent my entire childhood with a PS2. I didn't get PS3 until I was like almost a teenager.
Yeah, I was PS2
and
I was PS2 and Game Boy for a majority of my childhood, and then when I was in 2nd grade, I got my PS3 with a copy of God of War 1 and 2, the collection, of course. Why? Because my dad saw Cool Tattooed Guy, and he saw me playing Metal Gear Rising once, and was like, "Oh, he loves this type of game, hack and slash. What if I get him something like that?" And he gets me the most violent and the horniest game on the PS2. Or remaster of the 2.
I almost had that kind of experience, except I got yelled at because this is filth that you're playing. And my dad saw me playing Dead Space 2, and I was telling him that you gotta stomp on all the monster heads because extra loot pops out, and then he called it disgusting, and I should be playing these kinds of games.
Oh, you see, my dad was the opposite. My mom didn't like it, but my dad was like, he's a kid, he'll get over it. And then my dad got me, like I said, he got me a copy of Metal Gear Rising and God of War. And it also helped that my uncle defended me, mainly because he was also into like super gory, violent shooters and slashers. And I think the only time my mom ever told me to refund the game was with The Walking Dead Season 1. That was the only time. And that's mainly because I already beat it. I already beat the first game, and I got a refund, and I got a different game.
Hell yeah.
Not only that,
I mean, those games have like no replay value, so I think those are like the only games where it's like, yeah, I returned it after I beat it, and most of the time I'm like, oh damn, what about the replay value? Any Telltale game, fucking who cares?
Ironically enough, that's the one game where everyone in my house was watching me play it because the story was so engaging. Like,
yeah, no, the story's good, but then you play your second Telltale game, and then your third, and you realize, except for like a few niche things, your choices don't matter. The game is going to end the same way regardless, and you're always going to be reset to 0, so the game doesn't have to account for your changes in the next game.
Yeah, that's...
I think the only games where it really matters are the Telltale Batman games, which those are amazing, if you've ever played those.
I heard they're really good.
The Telltale... They are amazing. They're like the only Telltale game that has persistent choices between both of the chapters, too. But it's legitimately one of their best works. Wolf Among Us doesn't count, although I love it, because it doesn't have a second season.
they're working on it. It's just the fact it's in development hell, which
Yeah, it kind of helps when your company goes completely under and you have to be bought out by someone else, and then they sell you to someone.
remastering their, which I'm actually happy they did. They remastered the Sam and Max 3D games, like the 3D ones, and I've been wanting to get my hands on them for a while. I'm just waiting for them all to go on a sale. And I just love our sociopathic Waggledorf that may or may not be gay and might go manic at any second.
What?
Max, you know, the bunny.
Well, I don't know what game you were talking about, but you said Max, and I'm like, oh, Sam and Max, my gay husbands. I love them both dearly. They're my favorite point and click. I love those games.
Which apparently I discovered that they may or may not be very autistic coded, and I find that really funny.
Oh, they are. There is an 8-minute video where it has Sam and Max and it has the bisexual flag behind them.
Dude,
and it's
that's
Sam
the
and
one
Max
I
being
watched.
autistic for 8 minutes.
That's the one I watched. Yeah.
There's also I think there's also a 22-minute video of them just being themselves, and it's like 22 minutes of Sam and Max, and it's so good. They're so well thought out. They're also canonically married.
Well, I mean, Max sort of made him, or did it without his consent, so...
Yeah, but also there's a dream sequence you can do. There's a bunch of hints, like, if you, as Sam, you can click on a closet door, it's like, I'm never going back in there again. It's like, oh, he came out of the closet.
Oh, that's a funny one.
And then each time Max flirts with anyone, Sam is always, but Max, you don't even like girls. And he's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but then again, that's just Max being Max. Like, Max
and then you can get a wedding ring and you can give it to Max in one of the games, and then you have a whole flash sequence of them getting married, and it's like, maybe some other time. There's like, I think he says another time, maybe.
Not gonna lie, I feel like my personal favorite VA for Max is the animated series one. Like, the guy puts his all in Max.
The animated series one for Sam and Max is probably my favorite too. I do like the game versions, but a lot. But the animated TV show where Sam is screaming after... So Max sleeps on his crown upside down and it stabs into his skull. And then Sam sees it and just starts like throttling the neck of the first person he sees, screaming, "What'd you do to him? What'd you do to my little buddy?" And then Max is like, no, I'm just dumb like this regularly. You know, I just slept on my crown wrong. I wasn't actually lobotomized. I still have my brain in here.
The fact that there's an actual joke, and I think later games where Max did get lobotomized too.
Yeah, it's weird. I wish those games would come back.
They are. Apparently they remastered them, like I said.
Yeah, but remastered is different from a continuation. Hopefully they do continue someday, but with new adventures.
Well, there's the VR games that were made.
Disco Elysium is just Sam and Max, but what if it was a dystopia, and also you made the characters real? Because it has the same progress of cop detectives solving a case. And one of them is the very autistic and queer-coded. Both of them are.
Yeah. Which...
It's just that in one game, they're able to have slurs be yelled at you because it's an adult game.
Also...
And one Sam and Max.
God, I really need to try Sam and Max someday, because like I said, the remasters are available, I just don't have them. But it's also that weird thing I have in my head where I need to play the game from the beginning of the series, or else I'm not going to get the full experience.
Yeah, I was going to suggest if you do play the Sam and Max ones, the 3D ones are good, but I would suggest one of the 2D point and clicks first. Maybe even like I would say the one where they cross the entire United States is probably the one I would say to play first, maybe.
Oh, hit the
Because that
road,
one
right?
has the most backstory details. Or it's one of the most casual ones that doesn't have too much lore in it. It's just kind of they're chilling. And then one of the 3D ones explores what they were like as kids.
And it turns
and
out
that
they
kind of
never
stuff.
changed, and they were always fucking
Growing up
crazy.
together.
We didn't.
Spending all their time at the one building that had an arcade machine in it and where they could get food, and they just kind of stand at it all day and play arcade games.
Which is funny, because I'm pretty sure that was meant to be like an allegory for the whole games make your brain rotted or something, because that made parents paranoid.
Oh, you're at the top. I wonder what could be at the top of the, I forget the name of this tower.
Temenigru, which is very close to saying a slur.
Temenigru. I was gonna... my brain went to Resident Evil, and it's like, this is Terra Grigia. It's like, this is not Terra Grigia. I got the first few letters right. T and E. And then all the rest were wrong. Yeah, Sam and Max is good. I like Sam and Max. I like my little detective stories where the bitches be gay.
You love it when bitches be gay.
True.
When is it not fun when bitches be gay?
So true. Man's also probably charged right now.
Except, you know, the incest kind. No, that is a big no-no.
Yeah. Yeah. Your something Andy and Lele can go die. There's probably others.
That series is weird. Like, Andy and Lele popped off for the weirdest reason, and I don't know why. That should never have been made. Because, like, I get it. It's supposed to be sort of like a black comedy to show how fucked up these two are. And how fucked up their world is.
I saw the game. I saw the game and I'm like, oh, this is very interesting. I like art style. I really like this. And then I looked into it and it's like,
It's just this one big
terrific.
toxic relationship
Not in the
about two siblings that should not be left out of their house. And like, I get it, their whole backstory is, oh, they were abused by their parents, and I get that, but it's very much just an extreme type of game where it's like, oh, the world sucks, therefore they do too.
I was gonna say this is another Rover Team medium scenario where they try to tell a story about this thing and they completely fuck up the message by giving bad morals and making it fucked up for no reason other than, did you know that you're actually secretly bad for being object of your environment? Or they make you do terrible things and that's just how you're going to be?
Yeah, like, it's edgy for the sake of being edgy, essentially, which is the worst kind of edge, because that means there's no substance. I remember I talked with JK about this last time, or I forgot when we talked about it, but we talked about it, I don't know if it was on stream or somewhere else, I just don't remember when. But we talked about it, and it's like, if you're gonna do edgy, do it with, like, a meaning to it. You can't just do edgy for the sake of edge.
And if you're going to do edge for the sake of edge, make it goofy at least. Make it Shadow the Hedgehog.
Or Devil May Cry, which knows it's goofy,
Yeah.
but leans with it. Where it's like the behind the it's like the I have two sides meme. One is like the super serious wolf, and then the other's just a fucking clown.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think it, right? Because with a name like Devil May Cry, it sounds like an edge fest, but it's not. It's actually one of the most goofiest games you'll ever play, but also one of the most heartfelt ones. Like, it has dubstep, it has techno, it has edgy weeaboo samurai, it has red coat, trench coat wearing dual pistol half demon brothers. Like, how does that not sound edgy? But they make it work. Because they know how stupid it is and they embrace it. But it's at the same time, it's earnest. Because it's not admitting it's goofy. It knows it's goofy, but it still doesn't care. It's like that one line from the Maxor video. I may be cringe, but I am free.
Yeah. Whenever I think of that, I think of the... what is it? There's a Wreck-It Ralph meme from ages ago. Where I might be cringe, but at least I'm free. And it's when he's falling into like a chasm, doing like a punch into the ground or something.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's okay. Ooh, voice crack.
And it's why
it is okay to be cringe, but at least I'm free.
But nowadays, people look at that stuff and think, ew, edge, it's probably going to be bad. When, here's the thing, the hypocrisy in that statement is the fact that, you know, shows like Family Guy, Invincible, The Boys, one of the most edgiest shows of recent... Family Guy minus, because that one's show has always been edgy, but Invincible, The Boys... I
don't know. Family Guy, I watched I got really down into a rabbit hole of physical Family Guy media, like DVD box sets and stuff, for some reason. And I watched the first few seasons of Family Guy. Surprisingly wholesome.
But you get what I mean. Like, people say like edgy sucks, but at the same time, the best media as of late has been edgy. Like, you see me how many people, like, you can say what you want about Vivzy Pop shit, but her stuff popped off for a reason.
Another thing, I saw the art style on, and I'm like, this is amazing. I love this art style. I've watched the trailers. I've been waiting for this for like a decade now, it feels like. And it came out, and I'm like, I'll watch this sometime, maybe. But unlike the other thing that I mentioned, the art style was nice, I do have an interest in pursuing it at some point.
And what sucks, I think they made a...
Wild stories. Absolutely love how them off.
Like, for example, like, you can say what you want about Vivzy's writing, but she does try to write to make demons feel human, kind of. Like, she tries. Not saying she succeeds, but she's at least trying.
She did make a song so good. I'm not sure if she wrote it or someone else did. But she made a song so good that it's in my workout playlist.
Like,
it's the Angel Dust one.
Oh, like...
I don't know what it's called off the top of my head.
I forgot what it's called too. I know what the song...
But I enjoy that song.
I know what song it is. It's one where he's like, Addict. Yeah, it's called Addict. Which is a banger.
Addict. There we go.
Which she made a whole music video for that one as well.
Yeah. I like the music video because that's a little bit extra to the end. But yeah, no, when that song released, I was like, oh, this is Pete. Let me put that in my rotation of Tyler, the Creator, Mitski, and fucking, Matt Watson from Super Mega.
Yeah.
Just a random playlist that I pop in my kitchen while I'm doing dishes.
Yeah, what I usually heard the Nate Wants the Battle cover, and that's my preferred version because I'm more of a hard rock type guy.
I do the Liberty Mills cover if I want to cover. Basically, I go to Liberty Mills if I want any cover of anything, though.
But yeah, like either way, I wish Edgy Mita would make a comeback. We kind of, like I said, and we kind of are getting that, but it's a slow process.
Needs a little bit more Crush. Was it 51? Crush 51. They did the song. Or maybe they didn't do the song. Maybe Shadow the Hedgehog took it. All of Me, or I Am All of Me.
Yeah, I Am All of Me was Crush 40.
Crush 40. I think I combined Crush 40 with Suda 51.
Which Suda 51's another good example because of his whole punk's not dead philosophy.
I'm just thinking of what if Suda 51 made Shadow the Hedgehog.
Dude, it would be the weirdest. Dude, if he made a Sonic game, it would be so weird.
He could do it. Sonic doesn't have an identity anymore, really.
Well, now they
do.
now they do.
Chili dogs.
Well, now they do. I mean, Frontiers sort of fixed it because they got Ian Flynn, one of the best Sonic writers of all time, to come do the writing for Frontiers. And
yeah, but that's a single game though. It has to stick is the issue.
And then Sonic X Shadow Generations came out and characterized Shadow so much. So yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, it still has to have sticking power. Like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 was Sonic's only identity for a while, but then after a while it dropped. It fell off the wall. It didn't stick.
Then 06 happened and they just became a parody for a while. And Aaron was, for some reason, but then they made Aaron from Game Grumps, who hated Sonic, the fucking ambassador of the series. And then they realized he sucked, and they switched to a VTuber named Corone, who's an actual fan and is a huge fan of the series.
Is that the dog VTuber?
Yeah, it's the dog one.
Okay. I don't know VTubers. The only VTubers I know are my friends.
And me. Which I'm more of a PNG.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I was counting you as the VTuber, but you would technically be PNG tuber.
Yeah. Ironic. VTubers are, there's like a subgenre of VTubers. There's PNG tubers, regular VTubers, and like the ones that have the hyper expensive mocap ones, which I don't know how the fuck they can afford.
I'd be popular. The only mocap one I know is Billion.
Yeah, Billion's more of like, I think she uses her VR tracking. Really.
Yeah. That's the same thing, in my opinion. It's all mocap.
Oh yeah, it's still mocap, just a different kind of mocap.
Yeah. But I don't watch VTubers all that often.
Yeah. It's
if only there was a Vinny Vinesauce mushroom VTuber, then I would watch VTubers all the time. A Germa VTuber?
Here's the thing, like, it's only a recent trend thing. It's only been like 5 years since they popped off, and they only really popped off because of COVID. Because, you know, everyone was indoors.
Is Limes a VTuber? Or is she just a regular streamer? I'm not sure if Limes.
I don't know who that is.
Some posters think of Vinny and the group a lot when they do like Mario Party and I guess the iconic like VTuber kind of voice. So it's
like the high pitched, very anime.
Yeah, but I only want it from Vinny's perspective. So if there is if he is a VTuber, I'm gonna look it up right now. But
fuck. Also, there's also another VTuber I watched who had possibly the worst secret who had the worst secret, and I don't mean like in like there was like drama. I mean it was a really horrible kept secret of where she's very obviously like gay, but is still in the closet and pretending everyone and is like thinking everyone doesn't know, but everyone knew. Where we all knew she was, like we all knew she was gay, but she kept trying to hide it, and we were just like, we get it, you love women, we get it, just say it out loud. Don't worry, we love women too. We watch you
scream
too.
at the top of your lungs that 5-letter word that you really love.
5-letter word? What's that?
I'm not sure.
Is it
if
6?
I could say it on screen.
Oh, it's a 6-letter word, you idiot. It's a 6-letter word, not a 5-letter word. And also that's a slur.
No, I was saying 5-letter word. It's hard to say it.
Is it with a Q?
It isn't a slur. No, it starts with B. It has 2 letters and then another B. I was gonna say, just say what you love at the top of your lungs. Just say you love food.
I'm fruity.
No, I was just gonna say, hey. I don't know.
I don't know what it means, but okay.
Anyways, this is you gay.
Yeah, bitches do be gay.
I was just saying, yeah. Just say that to my food. I don't think anyone's gonna be like, no. Everyone's gonna be like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Which I like how we could be in an era, we're living in an era now where we could be openly horny now. Where people could just be like, damn. Like, I'm... God, Vergil in this game feels so weird. This is their first attempt at making Vergil, but at the same time, he's just not as fun as 4 and 5. Because 4 and 5 Vergil are peak, in my opinion.
Yeah. I've never actually played with Vergil before in any of the games. And I own him in 3, 4, and 5. No, not 5. Well, do I? I forget if I bought the special edition of 5 or not.
No, he can buy him as DLC in the base game. He's like $5, so you get his gameplay plus a few bonus cutscenes. And as the meme states, he is busted as fuck because he seems to get busted in every game. Oh, this section that I fucking despise. I despise this one. Okay, first off, because it's the floating worm, let's do that one first because it's the easiest. You can cheese this bitch. Oh shit, he bugged out.
Internet has died. Also, when I was saying limes, by the way, they are a VTuber and they're lime malicious, I think.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've only seen them through Vinny because I watch like 4 VTubers like ever nowadays that aren't friends.
If you're gonna hate me for this, but I don't really watch Vsauce, mainly because Vsauce kind of, ironically enough, kind of bores me.
Vsauce or Vinny Vinesauce?
Vinny Vinesauce, yeah.
Okay. When you say Vsauce, that's Michael here.
Oh, the meme, yeah, I know.
Have you ever wondered why your toenails grow? It's like fucking tell me, Michael, please. Do tell. But no, I like Vinny, but that's also because some of my favorite stuff are him playing cheap Sammy clones that kind of smell like burning plastic. Or the corruption streams, or where he just watches old commercials, and I'm like, hell yeah. Show me the mint gum commercial that turns real people into anime women.
Oh,
and then he actually breathes out some cats, and then they turn into cat girls, and then Vinny lets out the most horrific scream you can ever see a man or hear a man scream.
Oh god.
Because he has some gum, and then he breathes it out, and then people smell his breath, and then they turn into anime women, and then he runs outside to get away, and there's just a box of cats that he sigh of relief. Cat girls. You horrific scream. A worm.
Also,
Thanos double, so you can't exploit his weakness.
yeah, because all the characters are just, you can't deny it, all of them are just so fuckable that no one would blame you if you went game for them, because like it's Dante and it's Daddy Dante and Daddy Virgil. What do you expect? Both of them are considered one of the greatest dilfs and wilfs in gaming. I call Dante and Wilf Uncle like the fuck because that's what he is, whereas Virgil's the dilf. And then Trish is the MILF. Lady's the sylph.
Yeah.
The sister I'd like the fuck. Oh no, wait, that's the aunt and Alf.
That's. I was gonna say.
Elf. Yeah, Dante's a Wilf. Virgil's a Dilf. Trish is a MILF. Lady's an elf. And
I could never get behind Trish. I don't know. No, Lady is amazing. Peak. Love her design in 3, but only in 3. Oh.
I'm checking on stream. Okay, we're good. But yeah, like I fully believe. Like I love Trish as a character because she's so weird, but that's just the way DMC goes. There's always a demon hunter. There's always a woman needing help. You know, and then DMC 5 happened, where it's now a fruity goth boy needing help. You can't deny V's fruity as fuck. Like, how is he not fruity?
I've met his fruity ass before in high school. I know someone who is just like him, creating poetry and fucking
Goth as hell.
being edge. Yeah.
Was he also fruity?
No. Well, maybe. He just didn't know it yet. I grew up in the middle of the Midwest countryside, so there was the single gay person in the entire school.
Oh, okay.
Well, 2. 1, and then eventually 2, and then 1 again, because it's like once every 4 years you get the fruits.
Yeah.
So I will be right back.
Who the fuck is this? I think one of my favorite jokes, I remember watching...
Demolish.
Speaking of...
Also, I'm back. My charger is acting up.
Yeah, also, I remember, I don't know why, but I remember there was a YouTube video I saw once, and I was laughing my ass off, because there was like a comment saying, this reminds me of that one time this happened in a gay bar once, and then there was a reply, what were you doing in a gay bar? And the guy replied, being gay, duh. And then everyone in the comments was like, idiot, what'd you expect?
There's another one. It was from a Discord call, and they were asked, why were you in a gay bar? It's like, why do you think I was in a gay bar? You go fuck a dude. but in the most straightforward way of what the fuck do you think? Me in a gay bar.
Not gonna lie, I feel like going to a gay bar is pretty chill.
It is. I've gone a few times. Not for any like explicit purpose, but my friend frequents there a lot because she likes to hit on women there. But they had a karaoke thing, and
goes
also
to a gay
alcohol.
bar to hit on women. That's a first.
Well, she was also a woman. So.
Oh, okay. Oh wait, I forgot. It's a gay bar. Never mind. Why am I thinking it's only for guys? Never mind. I'm an idiot. I forgot. Lesbians are a thing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
My brain forgot about that for a sec. My brain had to process that for a sec. It's like, why are there women in a gay bar? And I remembered, oh, right.
The quote of the century. She forgets that lesbians exist.
I legit forgot they existed. And that's ironic, because I've seen so many Yuri ships from Undertale, so it's...
Also, in the server,
yes, I forget that there's someone
people
in
be
the
Yuri
server,
posting.
which, speaking of which, got a Discord server chat, go join. I forget that we have a Yuri poster in the Discord. I forget that, actually. She just hasn't posted Yuri bait in a while. So it's probably why I'm not...
She's more on the toxic yaoi train at the moment.
She's switching... Yeah. Which... God. This servers can be scuffed sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
Because here's the thing, sometimes on stream, I'll just like be chilling one time. I just see someone post in the general something scuffed, and it's like, I just see JP post something like, oh, here's pickles on a pizza or something. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, your girl posted something earlier. Oh yeah, it was a Hamilton thing in general. From the musical. Also, Agni and Rudra might be my favorite boss in this game.
Oh, they're really...
I love Agni and Rudra.
Yeah, they're really fun. It's a bitch and a half because there's like two ways to beat them. Either you do them one by one and just hope to God you don't die, or you try to get them both low health and then immediately kill the other so it doesn't get supercharged. Because once they get supercharged, it gets shitty.
Yeah, I do that. Knock both of the health pretty low, and then finish them off at the same time.
That's what I do, as well.
It's much easier that way.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's the way I do it as well.
God, I always love the faces. I'm kind of sad that they changed the faces in 4 and 5. I adore the faces that they did in...
yeah, but if we didn't change it in 5, then how would we get gay fuckboy cowboy Dante?
I mean faces as in the faces on the orbs.
Oh. Well, they change the designs every game.
Yeah. Yeah, but I prefer the 1 and 3. Yeah, no, I love the actual character model faces. DMC5 Dante. I'm totally not biased at all. Totally not. I think he's the most attractive in 5.
Well, yeah, because he's in Wilf. DMC4 Dante is clearly meant to have that fuckboy energy. DMC5 Dante is the uncle I'd like to fuck.
DMC3 Dante is still pretty good.
Yeah, he's the DMC3 Dante is the slut of the 3.
Hell yeah.
Wait, speaking of sluts, one of my favorite YouTubers, Kinky Mation, she did a review on Street Fighter 6 outfits, and that's where I got it from.
I would say half an hour of looking at Jury.
And then she has like her own little bell for when she really likes an outfit. And I mean really liked it. And she'd just end up like thirst posting about it, saying how like hot it is, while also giving good level character design tips. and how amazing Capcom's
Yeah.
character designers are.
Who is your favorite of
the new cast?
let's put in the most PG terms? I'd say in general, because mine is not. My character's from Third Strike, specifically Third Strike design. I was gonna say, what is your favorite of the Street Fighter character design?
In which game?
Women, I guess we'll say for now. Just any of the women, because it's kind of hard to you kind of have to separate them because
yeah.
If you don't separate them, at least for me, it would be a blowout of this one guy, and then this one, and then huge dip, and then now also these characters.
Yeah, but
I like Cammy a lot. She's probably my favorite design one. I like her beret. I think her beret is cute.
Yeah, Chun-Li and Cammy are the safe picks if you just want to if you're like choosing a favorite character design, because it's a safe pick. It's not going to get you in trouble, like with Chun-Li as well. You pick Juri, that's when people start people start asking questions, mainly because it's Juri.
Yeah, but I know Cammy's safe, but I think the beret is really cute, and I'm not biased.
Well, that's because you probably
like
play Resident
Jill's
Evil a lot.
beret.
Because of Jill's beret, exactly.
Yeah. And then when I get the chance, once you beat the game, you get the RE1 outfit for RE3. So then you can just put her beret back on. And I love berets. I think they are adorable. But honestly, we all know what the best character design is in Street Fighter ever. And it's Zangief.
What's Zangief?
Zangief
I don't think he's ever had a bad design.
Zangief is the best Street Fighter character.
Like, I don't think he's ever had a bad design. Because it's just his design is so simple.
He's just gotten better.
Yeah, his design is so simple.
And it's peak. And it just is.
The dude just also ages like fine wine. Like, he's pushing 60. And you got women like fucking, what was her name again? SF6? Like, she's the MMA fighter villain. Like, also Greek.
I have not played 6. I'll be honest, I've been playing Third Strike since it came out on the PS2 in that anniversary collection with Alpha. Or is it Alpha or was it Plus Turbo that was on that collection? Regardless, it was like a bunch of Street Fighter games in a PS2 collection, and it had Third Strike on it. And I played Third Strike, and I'm still playing Third Strike.
Well, Third Strike's considered the best of the series, so that's understandable. Like, people really love Third Strike, and that's well deserved. Me, I've never really gotten into it, mainly because I just was focused on other stuff. But I do admit that there is like a lot of the love from the game.
Yeah, I don't even care if it's the best in the series. I just think that's the best music. Because you get a bunch of, like, Akuma and Ibuki are some of my favorite soundtrack-wise. Because you get, Akuma is what would now be considered a version of Break 4, but it's actually drum and bass with a bit of jungle in it. You know, your drum heavy, high-pitched things. And then you get Ibuki's theme, which is a leitmotif on that. I'm not sure if Killing Moon or Twilight came first. But the softer, same kind of sound. But what if it was Samurai Champloo lo-fi hip-hop coded? And it's just so good.
What is it about samurai and hip-hop that fits so well? Like, it's so weird. Like, they shouldn't fit at all, but they do.
It's the same reason why space and jazz go so well together. They're oxymorons, so they complement each other. It's the same reason why purple and yellow, or purple and green go together. Red and green. Blue and orange. All that kind of stuff. They're so opposites from each other that they meld beautifully. Oh god, Samurai Shampoo is so good.
How did that series end, by the way? I know it was like they wanted to do another thing for it, but they never bothered to finish it. Or something along the lines.
Do you want me to tell you the ending of Samurai Shampoo?
Yeah, sure.
It ends on a pseudo fake out because they find the samurai that smells like sunflowers, which A, sunflowers don't have a smell, and B, he's barely clinging to life. And then the assassins that have been chasing them this entire transfer series, because in the very first episode they pissed off some rich people, and then they have just been running and they've been causing chaos through Japan because they decide to. It's very progressive, actually. They piss off a bunch of people in a few places because Christianity was illegal in Japan for a while because it's an Americanized religion, supposedly, to them. And that kind of stuff. So just kill them all. And then also there's the Dutch guy who is gay, so he fled to Japan to avoid being killed. Because he's Dutch. Which surprisingly is also the first place in the world to legalize gay marriage, but that's besides the point. And they piss people off, and then the assassins that ambush them in one episode and all that stuff. They have their fight, take out death. One of the characters is left floating, bleeding in the river, and it all ends in a nice tight bow of I still want to kill you, but also you saved my life and we're besties now. One day we're gonna fight to the death though. Take on it, we're all buddies. And then everything just kind of bittersweet because a bunch of bad stuff happens in the final episode.
Was one of them Mugen or Jin?
Also, I fucking hate the... Is this Leviathan Heart? No, this is a different boss.
No, this boss sucks.
Yeah, the Leviathan Heart is one, never mind.
What the?
But this is the same kind of boss as Leviathan Heart.
What the hell? What killed me? Thought I had a lot of health left. That's some bullshit.
I think it's because you take 20% of your health. But, yeah, Jin and Mugen are both alive at the end, but they agree that they're gonna fight each other again someday. And then they go their separate ways, I think.
Well, I mean, they already did what they wanted to do, so it's like there's not really a need to hang out anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but the reason they were hanging out is because Jin wants to kill, or Mugen wants to kill Jin for being a pompous asshole, and Jin wants to kill Mugen because he's so
Rudish.
much of a dick, like a douche. Yeah,
they just sort of tolerated each other essentially the entire series.
Yeah, because they played rock paper scissors, and I forget the girl's name, but she won rock paper scissors, and she's like, "Well, I won. You guys can't kill each other until we finish everything." And then after 26 episodes of howling around, they're like, "Oh, we'll fight someday, and we'll probably kill each other to see who's the better swordsman." Which, as much as I love Mugen, Jin is the better swordsman by far.
Mugen strong because he's unpredictable. That's the main reason he's so strong. Jin is actually like properly trained.
By the way, if you want a really hard character action game, by the way, you can always play the Samurai Champloo game on PS2.
Which is also made by Studio 51.
It's hard as hell.
Yeah, I know about that one.
I did not know that it was made by Studio 51. I just own it because I like Samurai Champloo, and I saw it one day and like, ooh, Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, it was in that.
And then I
weird
looked
era.
up reviews, and it's like, this game's hard as hell. Like, be really prepared to suffer if you want to beat it. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, when Suda made that game, it was in that weird era of Grasshopper where they were making licensed games. Blood Sea was one of them, along with Samurai Champloo. And they all switch. God, Blood Sea is so fucked up. I watched the scene of it as a kid, and it's the, you know, the one. Have you ever seen it? The one involving making a human blender. Oh, let me just say this. Look up Blood Sea Massacre. you're gonna feel so disturbed in the fact that Kid Me watched that and wasn't fucked up by it. Ironically enough. Maybe it's because I'm jaded because I play a lot of Resi, so maybe that's probably it.
Maybe. I don't know, gore is weird in the fact that sometimes it hits really hard and sometimes it's like, oh, it's just too gratuitous, it's kind of cartoonish, and it's gore levels.
The reason I say it's genuinely disturbing, at least for me, is because of the fact that, you know, these monsters are just treating people like actual food. And I don't mean like, oh, they're just munching on them like monsters. No, like they're like actually eating them like chicken wings, eating them like skewers. And that's what makes it so disturbing.
It's your promised Neverland.
Yeah. Except...
Which, man, I've never seen an anime drop off that unbelievably hard in a while. Anime / manga / whatever you want to call it. But that first season, pretty good. And then I read what the rest of the stuff happened. Like, man, this is worth it. This is awful.
Yeah. The thing is, though, they skipped a lot of the stuff, mainly because it was morally wrong, because the manga covered a lot of fucked up stuff. To the point...
You're on a human farm. I don't think there's a way you can do it without it being morally fucked up.
Yeah, but I think
For
it was...
human cattle.
I think it may have been too fucked up that the TV producers literally could not show it.
Yeah.
Because it was probably against, like, some sort of rule. So they had to
Also,
skip...
children, don't kill the children. That's why they're setting us on fire.
Which one?
I know another thing recently. There was the superhero movie where they killed children, and it's like, each time that happens, it's like, oh, that's fucked up. Why are you showing this on TV?
Fair point.
So it almost certainly has to do with the fact that they're children. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, like, it's understandable why they couldn't show it, but at the same time, like, it sucks. Because that's sort of the whole point of Promised Neverland.
You know, I just remembered how game I contributed to Halloween. The first Postal game. Do you remember the first Postal game? Was a horror game?
Oh god, the first Postal horror game. Yeah, that one's weird. Like, because it's very clear, because Postal nowadays is almost being a really fucked up parody of what it used to be, along with a bunch of 2000s nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, Postal is still kind of a horror game. It's just you have to go in the right areas, and you get, like, the music and visuals from the first game. Okay. It's a horror game, through and through. It's scary.
Yeah, and then they leave...
Especially when you think about the implications.
Like, I feel like if Running with Scissors were to make a horror game, they'd make a damn good one. It's just that Postal is their...
Oh, yeah.
It's just that Postal's their moneymaker, that they have no choice but to embrace it.
Yeah.
But...
After the fact that they can barely keep on the same thing, people in the studio alive, so they need to have Postal be a moneymaker. But then they take the line and it goes everywhere, so it's a fan everywhere because of the final level. And Postal 2 became Postal, so after the fan was everywhere. And Postal 3 sucked and sank the company. And then Postal 4 just barely existed in the first place. And then Brain Damage is a Doom clone, which is actually pretty good.
Which...
And now they're doing Postal 3 Redux, like in the second game.
Here's the thing with... Yeah, but hopefully they could pull a Key and Peele where they go from... Because here's the thing with comedy people, is that they're really good at comedy, but put them in the reins for a horror movie, they're going to make the most scariest shit you've ever seen. Because for some reason...
I still need to watch all those. There's like A Way Out and then the other two.
Like,
I don't know what the name is.
Like, I don't know what it is. For some reason, comedians make really good horror movies, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because they can understand tension and timing. guess.
I was going to say, it's down to the fact that timing is such a big part of comedy. They know how to do it for horror. And also, comedy and horror are sometimes the same drama. It's just, do you want to laugh about it or do you want to succumb to it? I really need to watch those. It's
Apparently,
the same kind of thing with, I forget his name, but Malcolm in the Middle, bad. Comedy, basically typecasted for comedy, then Walter White on Breaking Bad into more serious roles, to then also starring in Key and Peele for a bunch of skits that one time.
yeah, and I remember the actor for Walter White. Didn't he join for a fake comedy skit?
Ryan Johnson, or that.
Like, didn't he do a comedy skit where it's like he dreamed about how fucked up his life was if he became a drug lord?
Oh yeah. There's also Malcolm in the Middle. I dream he had. That might even be the same shit with Malcolm in the Middle. He wakes up in bed with his wife. It's like, I was just the worst dude. I was a drug lord, and also Malcolm in the Middle is great because you get that one scene of Bryan Cranston's character. I forget his name. It's Al, I think. Al something. Just gonna go home and he's followed by like 8 big, buff, sweaty men. And it's ahead of its time comedy, followed by the most suspenseful. What genre would you call Breaking Bad besides a drama?
A suspense crime thriller?
Suspense crime thriller is a good word for it. By the way, I only watched Breaking Bad like 6 months ago. I watched it out of context, like I'd be walking through the living room and my dad would be watching it and I'd be like, this is the scene with the twins where they attack that one character that's super important to the story. And I'll be watching and I'll see an explosion and they'll see guns. It's like, oh cool. But I sat down and watched it a few months ago. Man, it's so good. It's such a hard pivot from being a comedy sitcom actor to do. And he did it brilliantly. Comedians are just built different.
Also, fun fact, the actor for Walter White was also the Bruce Lee character in Street Fighter II, the animated movie.
Hell yeah.
So you cannot say he didn't do anime VA work. Like, he went from anime VA...
Weird that you find actors sometimes.
Like, he went from anime
It's
VA
really
to...
weird when you find actors.
Yeah, like, he went from anime VA to...
That reminds me. I should have saved it. There was a clip. So, as you might know, Tom Kenny voiced the SpongeBob. Did Spyro in the second and third game. The first game is voiced by the Taco Bell Chihuahua, by the way. So, Kyoto Taco Bell, that's the same person who did Spyro.
Oh, shit.
But, Tom Kenny, I found him in some, like, horror anime skit thing that I saw. Not skit, but like a short. It's like, it's just like an Tom Kenny doing his Spyro voice in a horror thing? What the fuck is happening? You find actors in the weirdest places.
Well, they're
like,
VAs always need work.
Motor Soul Suspect. Yeah, Motor Soul Suspect, and then you walk through your door and somebody's doing their Colonel Campbell voice. It's like, Colonel, what are you doing in this apartment building?
Colonel, why are you this little boy's grandpa?
Colonel. Tell me about mental heat.
Fucking, I hate this boss!
Ugh. I think I teased this boss fight with
Beowulf.
yeah. Well, Beowulf is really easy to cheese things with because you get the charged uppercut. Unless I'm thinking of Ifrit.
Yeah,
Is
but
Ifrit the one that has the charged uppercut?
no, Virgil doesn't
you
have
charge
it.
uppercut, and you jump over their laser, and then you charge uppercut, and then you charge uppercut, and then you charge uppercut. But I don't remember if that's Ifrit in 1 or if it's Beowulf in 3.
Yeah, because when you talked about elemental weaknesses earlier, I was like thinking of DMC1 because DMC1 bosses do have elemental weaknesses.
Yeah. Griffin has one that you really need to exploit because the Griffin fight otherwise is horseshit. I hate the Griffin fights in those games. But yeah, when he finally lands and you don't have to just spam the grenade launcher, it's kind of a pushover.
Yeah. It sucks that Ruben Langdon and Dan Southwork only really get work thanks to Vergil and Dante, because other than that, they barely are in other stuff. They're one of those actors that were typecasted, unfortunately, to their roles, and people only know them thanks to those roles.
Yeah.
Like, yes, good old Dan
I
was the
heard
Quantum
one
Ranger.
other thing that had Vergil in it, but then my first thought is, oh, that's Vergil. So they're super typecasted for even if they're all in other things. It's like, oh, hey, why is Vergil in my video game here?
Which, the fact he was the Quantum Ranger.
I need to watch more Power Rangers than the Sentai shows. I loved them when I was a kid. I had them on DVD with the special extras menu that had mini games in them.
Yeah. Dan's just really good at playing the rival, and I don't know why. He's really good at that.
I mean, he has a snarkiness about him that is unrivaled. He makes you want to hate him, but in a lovingly way. Like, it's you're an antagonist and you're a shitter and this is awful. I will protect you till the day that I die and also kick your ass. Because you exude so much little brother shithead energy that is so lovable.
In this case though, he's the big brother and he's the one shit talking you.
Yeah. They're kind of built as if they would both have an older brother that doesn't exist. Because you get the shithead and you get the loafer, but you don't have the control in their life that an eldest would have.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, Virgil's the big brother shit-talking you for having his life together while the younger brother's still trying to pay the bills.
Yeah, well, life together is a huge push or pull on his part, if he ever mentions that. It's like, dude, you have a kid that you abandoned day one and actively tried to kill. You do not have your shit together. And then Virgil would get really upset at the fact that Dante would imply that he doesn't have his shit together.
Well, here's the thing, is that both Virgil and Dante are shitters. It's just that Virgil's really good at hiding it. Unfortunately, they're both the same person. It's just one has better control over their... I want to say better control over their emotions, but at the same time, that would imply Virgil does have control at all.
I was going to say, one has no control of their emotions, and one exudes so much empathy that their emotions get out of control regardless. Because Virgil's like, I have my emotions under control, as they're actively leaking out like a leaky faucet. And then Dante is like, I don't have my emotions under control. They all are in plain view, and I'm broke constantly because I'm such a nice person, and I can't stand people having a bad time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spend all of my money rebuilding the city after fights and helping the people that are hurt or don't have homes anymore due to me using a Beowulf uppercut in their living room.
Another thing that makes Dante so poor is the fact that he used to have a girlfriend who got killed in the demon attack along with her father, So as a way to make amends, he gives most of his money to the family. Like, I think all he does is pays his bill first, and then for like the shop. After that, he gives his money to repairing the city and to the family, and just leaves the little bits he has left for like pizza and the like.
Pizza. Can I tell you about my pizza fiasco that happened yesterday? I ordered pizza as a treat because I forgot to go shopping and I was hungry. And they tripled my order for some reason. So instead of getting 2 pizzas, I have 6 that are sitting in my fridge right now. I have so much fucking pizza. I'm glad I love pizza.
I know, I love pizza as well. You just need to be you're the wacky woohoo pizza man.
Wacky Wahoo Pizza Man.
Which apparently I discovered that term was coined because of the Super Best Friends. And I'm upset because I'm like, are you kidding me?
Hell yeah.
How did I know these guys are based? How come I never watched them a lot?
Once again, the best friend strike again. By the way, that was my first YouTube video. Well, not first, because I sent my very first one, which is a Resident Evil Numa video. But after they stopped doing this, or they still did Machinimas, but after they picked up crafting with Machinimas and they went into doing Kirby, the first episode was Kirby, Sick Yarn, and they did Resident Evil, and then The Last of Us, and then Down 4. So I was basically raised on them, and I will vouch for them every single second, because Super Best Friend became Council Super Beast, which I was telling you all about podcasts and their podcast titles yesterday, or 2 days ago, and how, hey, listen to their podcast, it's actually really informative, just don't pay attention to their YouTube titles. I was also telling Ken about this, and I feel like I was going insane, because their podcast titles are, hey, PC Gamer Podcast of the Year. What's your podcast title? Who keeps pissing on my dead baby's grave? Or this baby coffin is filled with used needles. Or now let's look at goat teeth. And I think I read off some recent podcast titles of this giraffe is getting that sloppy toppy, because they were talking about the Resident Evil 6 logo.
This Travis guy. What is that title, dude?
They're peak. They've always been peak, and I love them. They're everywhere. You don't know it, but 90% of what you know and love will have been connected to the best friends at some point.
Like certain
But
memes exist thanks to
Pizza
them.
Man
Is from them, yeah.
Yeah. They're even in video games, like Dropkick, the fighting game that's all about dropkicking people, is Zubaz, which is a forgotten Street Fighter character that they adopted as their channel mascot. That became super popular as Zubaz, and then made it into Dropkick. They're also in Shovel Knight. They're in Lisa the Painful. In Lisa the Painful, the first puzzle is, hey, there's a boulder blocking the way. You need dynamite to blow it up. Matt and Pat from the best friends are just there. They're just looking at the door. They have their own Skullgirls colors.
Skullgirls?
I think Big Band? Yeah, Big Band, the purple and green. If it was a lighter green, it would be Ava colors, but it's actually purple and a dark green. So I'm pretty sure that one is connected with Wooly. But they have Skullgirls colors. I think Matt might be the lady with the monster hair.
Oh, Philia.
Philia. I think he has a color on her. I'm not sure if Pat has a color. Or Liam. And Liam is even really a best friend. He's the rising superstar that was a mainstay on the channel. So he was practically a member, but then he left in like 2016. But yeah, practically everything comes from the best friends in some shape or form. If you're on this side of the internet, they'll peak. They just are. I grew up watching them from the year right before I went to bed. So I've heard the Kirby theme, because that used to be their channel intro, thousands upon thousands of times from the years 2012, 2011 to 2018. And I forgot this counts as a boss fight.
But
My first time through this room, I hated it because I didn't know I had just smacked the mirrors. Anyways, you guys probably don't have to hear me say this because you might already know, but you guys should watch The Best Friends, watch Castle Super Beast, watch Wooly versus Pat stares at Matt McMuscles, and when he does stream,
I
the
wonder.
Rising Superstar Liam.
I wonder if they ever made up. Like, I know they're obviously not back to like the stuff channel again, but like, have they made up, or have they like you know?
I don't know. Because it's weird, because I don't think Wooly or Pat have any ill will towards any of the other members. Because Pat is a hitter, but he also has grown as a person who's having a kid now.
Yeah.
But he also is very blunt. Matt and Liam still do content together. Wooly and Pat still do content together. But they never cross streams anymore. So it's more of a... The Best Friends were... I can start from the beginning. Wooly is the orchestrator of the whole thing. He worked at Square Enix as a game dev. Same with Matt. They became friends. Wooly is a friend with Pat from the old days of arcade games and going to your locals to play Street Fighter, Third Strike, Street Fighter 2, Alpha Turbo. And then he's like, hey, you guys have a good dynamic. Let's make a YouTube channel based on YouTube. Mission United was like, hey, we want this. And then they weren't friends when the channel even started. They were just colleagues. And then they became friends by like their third or fourth playthrough. And then they were the best friends after that point.
And then something happened, which yeah.
And then it's so the main theory is Matt started to feel it was more of a job and didn't really want to do it anymore and wanted to focus on his own channel. So he started drinking a lot of the time during sessions.
Oh.
And then it usually, I think it was, one of them had a black eye in the finale video. So I think one of them just socked the other one in an argument because I think they don't like Matt's wife, I think. So I think it was Pat had a black eye, and Pat probably insulted her, snap punched him in the face. Also, my dog wants to go outside, so I'll be maybe right back. I'll still be talking, but I might, since I have to go into my kitchen, I'll probably lose internet connection. But
okay.
Don't go outside. Come on. But
I never knew why though. Like, cause I wonder if they ever made up, considering it's been years, like 8-7 years now.
Yeah, it won't be the first time that one of them has left the channel. The reason I think Superstar Liam separated from everyone else is he joined later, but he also left the earliest in 2016 after an argument. And also, it said it wasn't due to any big arguments or anything. He wanted to go back to college to become an asset designer for a game company. There was still talk. Because why would you give up such a lucrative business to go back to college and do this and that? But I don't know. It's not my business to say what has or has not happened. All I know is that I enjoyed the time where they were together, and they still do all still make content. Even if Liam only makes a video once a year, I watch the Nintendo Direct and then leave again. But yeah, it's real unfortunate what happened, but can't change it. And I hope that someday, even if they don't make content together, they all make up and are friends at some point.
Like,
even
obviously,
if they never make content with each other.
Yeah, Super Best Friends is gone. There's no denying that. There's no way they can ever do that again. Because right now they're fine where they are. There's not really a reason to start it back up again. Like, other than nostalgia, there's really no reason to bring it back.
They still do content with each other. Like I said, Wooly and Pat still have Castle Super Beat that they work on, and then sometimes they're on each other's streams, but like Wooly does fighting games and streams, and then Pat does whatever the hell he wants because who cares? He does what he wants.
Yeah.
Matt has a very popular series of What Happened, where he talks about what happened or caused like games that were stuck in development hell, games that flopped, all that kind of stuff. As well as his flop streams and all that. And like I said, Liam is in college. Or maybe he graduated? I don't know. He went to college at some point to work on asset design and become an artist for a game company. So he's probably still doing that.
Probably. This boss usually sucks a lot.
Fine. I don't even remember this boss.
Which one's after this boss? Ends.
Oh, okay. I forgot this boss existed until I saw that Dante's here with you, and it's like, oh, okay, this is the blob fight, but at the very end.
You know, the one that sucks.
Yeah, and also the only boss you can play in 2 players.
Unless
if you plug in a second controller, someone can.
Yeah. I think the only way to do co-op with this guy is if you play the game, unlock Infinite Devil Trigger, and then you can use Doppelganger, because Doppelganger also has a second player slot, and you can play multiplayer with your friend.
Speaking of best friends, Pat and Wooly did a co-op Bloody Palace run a while ago.
Which...
That's pretty good.
Now that you remind me, I really need to do a DMD run of DMC 1, 3, 4, and 5. The thing is, though, 1 is already hard enough, and I'm considering skipping that, but at the same time I don't, because I would be a pussy. And 3, 4, and 5 DMDs are not that bad, because after DMC 1, it's smooth sailing from there most of the time.
Yeah, 1 is weird, because 1 is ungodly, unforgiving, yet also super forgiving if you know the timing. Because there are a handful of bosses you can insta-kill. You just have to be perfect in your timing.
Yeah.
So be perfect or die.
And then 3, 4, and 5...
You want to kill the scissor hands? Just do it. You want to kill the dog enemy? Just knock open the thing and then jump on their needle when they attack you and run and then mag dump into the orb.
And then 3, 4, and 5 are just... Yeah, which... If I'm going to be playing through 3, I'm going to do it on my Switch because that one has DMD already unlocked. I need to work on getting DMD in 4 and 5 and 1. Because 1, I'm on hard mode, but I'm on like mission 11. And it's the section where I got to chase the light. The problem is, obviously DMC changes enemy placements in harder difficulties. And they put the double shadows in that one. So that means I just got to hope to God I get it right. And then all of a sudden, oh, look, I went the wrong area and I got to redo the whole thing again. And it sucks.
Well, here's the nice thing, and you can, you could insta-kill the double shadows if you're good enough.
I don't know
After
how.
Shadow, so a Shadow has an ability where it shoots a spike out at you. If you are able to jump and anticipate the spike and land on it, you can run at them and then attack the orb from on top of their spike. And it has like a 400% damage multiplier, so if you get a good combo off, it might not be an instant kill on further difficulties. You might have to do it like 2 or 3 times. But what you do is you just jump on their spike attacks. When they launch their spike, you run across their spike and then attack their weak spot. And you get that ungodly damage multiplier. That'll just rip through their health bar. God, I remember having so much issues with this fight when I was a kid. Watching you do this is just like a complete joke. Although you are doing a deed with Vergil versus Dante instead of Dante versus Vergil.
No, because here's the thing. With Dante, I could do this much faster because Dante has just way more in his tool set, whereas Vergil has less. The reason I say he has more because if you play the Switch version of this game, it gives you like the freestyle and lets you like use all your weapons at once instead of like the 1 or the 2. And you could just freestyle it in the Switch version, which is not available in the other version anymore, which sucks.
Yeah. Awful.
And because
with the 100 kills get the extra cutscene.
Yeah. Which here's the thing with this section, it's like it's not nearly as fun because there's barely any cutscenes for Vergil. At least 4 and 5 do you the mercy of giving you cutscenes for what Vergil was doing at the time, like a beginning and end cutscene. Whereas this is just, here's the same game with just Vergil and we removed every single cutscene.
Yeah. I assume it entirely exists based on the fact of the niche of you can use Vergil in a single boss fight. Because you have to think, this is one boss's moveset expanded to be an entire game's worth of content when it wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, which, so the topic of DMC, I'm really hoping Kamiya is willing to remake DMC 1 and 2. 1, because I feel like he obviously still has a love for it. He constantly references it in every single one of his games. Bayonetta and Wonderful 101 anyone. As for 2, I think he just want to remake it because of the sheer audacity to have the game at that quality. After that, I don't think he's ever going to touch 3, 4, or 5. I believe he's not touching those. Because I think he has a lot of respect for Itsuno. I don't think he wants to change any of it. It's why people are clamoring for a DMC 1 remake from him, because he's the only one that knows how DMC 1 works. And he brought some of that design philosophy to Bayonetta. So I know he can do it, it's just that it's weird. Because DMC 1 feels like Kamiya. It's not an Itsuno game. It doesn't feel like, it doesn't have the usual Itsuno hallmarks. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
That and I'm hoping he works on New Beautiful Joe. Like, for fuck's sake, a New Beautiful Joe shouldn't be that hard to expect him to make.
Oh god, I really want to stream Beautiful Joe and see if we get my PC fixed. I own 1 and 2, and I played Beautiful Joe 1. I've never beaten it because, god, that game kicks my shit in so hard. I'm not good at it.
Yeah. The thing with Kamiya is that he's sort of like Capcom's Itagaki, where it's like, you want to look cool, you gotta earn that shit. He's kind of like that, but at the same time he wants it to feel like the character. Whereas Itagaki was just like, nah, you're earning everything about this character. You are not getting out of this the easy way. Ironically enough, the summon swords in this game do the most damage, but at the same time, they are slow as fuck, whereas they get a trade-off in future games where they trade power for speed, so they just get faster to shoot per game. Whereas in this game, they're slow but hit hard as it hit as hard as a truck. And then DMC5 happens, you can just mash that shit. And let's see if we still get the cutscene.
It's nice, but I doubt it. But maybe.
Aw,
Like,
man.
considering
Please have the cutscene. Fuck! You gotta
no
be...
cutscene for you.
Guess it's time for me to die, huh? Wait, did that unlock DMD? Wait, what? Oh my god!
Did it?
That unlocked DMD!
Well, that's one game you don't have to worry about unlocking it preemptively for.
No, here's the thing. I'm playing on my Switch because DMD, you need Infinite Devil Trigger to even survive DMD. Because Very Hard gives you Infinite Devil Trigger, but you don't get the regen. Instead, you get like a lot more health drops. Whereas DMD, every enemy has Devil Trigger and can just activate, and then it's just, oh, you like super armor enemies?
Oh.
Okay, get ready for super armor. Not only that, the game just looks visually clearer on Switch, because this game still is running at like 720p. It's just upscaled, or in a way, not even upscaled, it's just 720p regardless, and it's just super weird and chunky. Whereas the Switch version was done in-house by Capcom, because they did it, remastered it themselves, and that's why the game looks so much clearer. Oh, holy hell. Well, that was the DMC3 Vergil run. Next up, DMC4 and 5. I am not doing the reboot, because I already have enough of that.
I was going to say, hey, you gotta play the reboot again.
I'm not doing it, because I don't even think you can play as... You can't even play as Vergil in the main game. You can only do it through his DLC.
Oh, yeah, right. Never mind. Also, they have the inferior Vergil. They removed his fedora in a patch.
What do you mean?
Which sucks ass.
His fedora was so fucking stupid. They made him look like the Redditor. I know. The Redditor dude.
I know.
The
it was
dude.
Awful.
It was the dude with the fedora.
Yeah, it was so awful, but I love it. It is awfulness.
It's
I don't know. It's weird. It's so in the past, completely rebalanced the game because in the original, I'm not sure if you played it. If you didn't correct or heaven to heaven and hell to hell weapons to the right enemies, you would bounce off doing no damage and you would stagger, which was awful. It was so horrific. Now it's just reduced damage and you don't stagger. But they also removed Vergil's fedora, and that's also ass.
Yeah, although
one thing that I hate his fedora, but I love it.
Yeah, if there is one thing about Capcom that does, the one thing about Capcom that does kind of piss me off though, that they did do is the fact that I get it, the reboot sucks, but at the same time, the Definitive Edition did fix a lot of the gameplay issues. So why in the name of fuck did you not port that version to PC?
Is it not on PC?
No, the Definitive Edition is not on PC.
It?
The original's on PC, but not the Definitive Edition. And their whole reasoning was that they could just mod it in. That was their reasoning, that they can just mod it.
That's dumb.
And I'm like,
also,
and they did the same. They also did the same. They also did the same thing with. They also did the same thing with DMC5, where the base game is on there, but they didn't port the special edition. Why? Because, like they said, their reasoning was they could just mod it in. That was their reasoning. It's like, come on.
Capcom does not like money.
Like, you can
Capcom refuses to sell their updated versions of the games, and also all their games are on sale like every 2 months.
Like, come on.
Capcom hates money.
Like, they seem allergic to it. Look at Monster Hunter Wilds. That's a low blow. That's a low blow.
True.
That is a low blow.
Is it?
Yes, because their game has been
Is there
selling.
something that happened with Wild?
Yeah, because the game's been selling like shit on Steam because it has horrible performance issues. You can ask JP about it; he has it, but it has horrible performance issues on PC. Console, I think, is fine. But
Monster Hunter?
yeah,
Do you want to know Monster Hunter World specifically? Did you know that the game's worst performance is on the fucking title screen? You load up the title screen and it sometimes has a chance to overheat my PS4 entirely and shut it off.
And the rest of the game just runs normally.
If the RNG takes so long. Yeah, the rest of the game's fine. I can fucking fight Xeno'jiiva, which is the best Monster Hunter monster. I fucking love Xeno'jiiva. A, cool ass name. B, dragon of pure energy with laser beams. This shit's rad.
Fuck yeah.
My favorite of the final bosses. Fatalis, eat a dick. Fucking Xeno'jiiva. Also, it has the worst downgrade because Saki-Jiva is the adult version of Xeno'jiiva. I just turned into a red dragon. It is very boring.
Dude, I have a feeling you love a friend of mine. He lives in California. He is a Monster Hunter nerd. He's been playing since the 3DS. And
I also got on the 3DS.
He was, not gonna lie, when
I stole my girlfriend's copy of Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
Yeah, I remember one time I played the beta with him, and he felt the movement, and it was like, I hate this. Why is it moving like this? And the reason I said he said he hated it was because you know how Monster Hunter has like a stiffness for the turning speed when you're running and all that.
It depends on the game because it changes every game. Because World is stiff because everything's chunky.
Yeah.
Rise is arcadey, so it's very movement. You would love Rise, I think.
I played Rise. I love Rise. Wilds. What they did with Wilds is that they now made it so that your turning speed is snappy. So that means if you like move forward and then move back immediately, your character will immediately move back rather than just like that, like a little bit of delay. No, it's instant. Like you turn
no
instantly
momentum anymore.
Yeah, like you turn instantly.
Okay, so they removed the momentum as you're running.
Yeah.
I can see how that would be kind of weird because Monster Hunter has always been momentum based. It's very momentum heavy.
Yeah.
So just turning it into like an arcadey experience, even more than Rise already was, while still having the world skin on top of everything.
Yeah.
Might feel weird.
And it's an open world game too, which means you kind of need to have it on next gen because the RE engine, as I keep saying, I keep telling JP this, it is not meant for open worlds. I tried Dragon's Dogma 2 is a really good example of that. I say it's a good example because even on performance mode, it still tends to chug every now and then. And what doesn't help is that Capcom's all about detail. That means they love to put foliage in every single area they're in. Like there's a lot in 7, for example, even if it's a small environment. It's a small environment, but they put a lot of foliage and a lot of detail along with like other stuff. But it's an open world game, and that's what and that little detail they like to do is gonna make your console chug.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
it's like the RE engine was made for Resident Evil games
and DMC.
Believe it or not.
And games like Pragmata.
Yeah, DMC, I guess I can say is also. It's called the fucking RE engine. What do you mean it runs ass when you're in an open world game and not an RE game?
The fact that RE8 runs as good as it does.
Thought about it?
Oh, sorry, continue.
Yeah. No, my brain had an ADHD moment where I thought about the Fox engine, and then I thought of a Resident Evil game in the Fox engine.
Yeah. Which I remember.
But no.
Yeah. And then RE4 came.
Resident Evil 8 runs very well. I wish I liked RE8.
Then RE4 remake came out and looks.
I really do.
Then RE4 remake came out and it looks gorgeous. It looks like oh my god.
And it happens to be peak.
Yes.
It coincidentally, believe it or not, when you base your Resident Evil game off of the best game to exist on the PS2, it's gonna be good.
And you remove the quirks and you remove the annoying parts of the original game, all of a sudden you get peak. Along with giving the writers proper time to write the story. No, like I don't mean like the parts that were like
There's only,
fans
like-
love despite it being quirky. I mean like the actual annoying parts where it's like
I was gonna say, I was gonna say the only parts that I found annoying. I know people hate the island. I actually kind of like the island. I hate the latter half of the castle. Like you hit chapters 4-2, 4-3, I think, and immediately upon entering the room with running from Sadler or Salazar's statue, I think the rest of the castle's ass after that point. I can't stand it.
Which thank God they removed it. As you saw.
Yeah, because you get the Donkey Kong barrel room is okay. It's goofy as hell, but it's fine. Sure, the Doom is a fun boss fight. Everything else in between is god awful.
Yeah. I think
The
only part of
the one section of the mines and the double. I'm blanking on their names now. Why am I blanking? Big guy
Luis.
grabs you, drop him into a pit of lava.
Oh, the Gigantes, yeah.
Gigantes, El Gigante. Yeah, that double boss El Gigante fight is okay. In the original, it's very easy to cheese though, because you jump up the ladder, hit the zip line, go to the other side, shoot them until they either fall on the ground, or drop them in the lava, or they get to you, and then you climb the ladder, wait for them to get close, zip line, and just do that for like 10 minutes. It's kind of boring.
The fact that I was
It's
stubborn.
very easy to cheese, but
The fact I was stubborn enough to do that in the remake with no zip line, and I cheesed it with the Switch.
Watching that in the remake sounds horrific, or looks horrific, due to the fact that one of them wears armor, so you really can't do much about it.
Unless you're a crack shot. Like, the only way to do it is if you're really good at aiming. And
Yeah.
even then, it's a bitch, because...
In the original, he wears like leather armor, and it gives him more health, but that's it. He just gets a health boost from his different model change.
In this case, they balanced it out by just covering most of his body with armor.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That Krauser fight was stinky, though.
yeah.
The Krauser fight was such a downgrade in the remake, in my opinion.
What do you mean? It's great. It's an actual fight now. I love it.
Him not being weak to knife defeats the entire purpose of his boss fight. You're supposed to be like, oh, his knife is his weakness, and it's like every other boss, his weakness is being shot in the face, and it's like, that's stupid. I don't like that.
Well,
I wish he was weak to knife.
I'm guessing in that fight in particular, he was weak to it. In the remake, like later on, the other fights, like I just did that to speed up the fight, mainly because I was like, you know what? I'm tired of getting meleeed and like getting stabbed. I'm just gonna waste ammo and just get rid of him from afar because I do not feel like fighting.
But in the original, the knife was the way to speed up the fight. I've told you, it takes 3 or 4 knife hits before he drops his flashbang in those arena, or in the earlier Earth sections. It takes like 15 knife rounds to finish his final encounter, or knife slices, when it takes like just as many Magnum rounds.
Yeah, and then is like, also there is one thing I don't like is that they removed the whole thing with the moonlight where he turns his arm into like the sword. There is no like dramatic thing with the moon. It just transforms and that's it. And I am miffed by that.
Yeah. I guess they took that from the mercenaries. Like they only played the mercenaries mode where it's on a timer, so it recharges. And they're like, "Oh, must how it works, or must be how it works." And they're like, "No, it isn't moonlight powered, and it isn't like oh, look at the theming of the Lost Plagas being weak to daylight, but powered by the moon." It's what if I was just a creature? And it's like, well, damn, okay, sure.
But yeah, before we continue the convo, I'm gonna end the stream. Hold on. I'm gonna end it off here. Okay. For those that are new, I really appreciate subscribe if you are new. Like the stream if you enjoyed it. I stream hopefully every Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I am really hoping to get back in the schedule because my internet's been weird, and the reason I haven't streamed that last 3 times is because I kind of overslept. Because I took a nap like at 5 and I woke up like at 8 or 9, so I ended up oversleeping. So because my sleep schedule's been fucked.
I woke up 2 minutes before the stream started.
Yeah, and then after, yeah. And next week, I'm hoping to start Resi 5, and I'm gonna be streaming with this man. So go follow him.
Hello. I might stream it myself. I might not. If I do stream it myself, it'll be the no commentary version. If you just want the gameplay and plot, you can see that on my channel. Otherwise, if you want us to be shit talking and being goobers the whole time,
And
well, no, I guess I could